addicted to success.
What's up? Welcome to your favorite podcast, The Ain't Shit Show, the home of booze, views, and unpopular opinions. I want to thank you for joining us for episode 141.
Yeah.
My name is Fresh, and I'm one half of the Pod Gods. And with me is the best man in all of podcast land, my right-hand man, Mr. B.A.
Hola. Fuckers up. Hope y'all doing all right. Long time no talk. Peace and blessings.
Back of the back. What's up? What's up, Pops?
Chilling. Cool on. How was your weekend?
My weekend and my, 2-week span was good actually. Lots going on. But not really anything noteworthy that I would discuss here. But I do want to say, happy birthday to my sister. Told y'all it's birthday season in my family. Once they start, they are back to back. So happy birthday to my sister. And if y'all want to, send me a gift on May 31st, holla at a player Gemini season. It's fastly approaching. What you been up to?
Shit. About to go on vacation.
PR?
And then
Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
PR?
And then, this past weekend, like three of my best friends actually got, the same birthday. Two of them had the same birthday and one's May 8th and two of them is May 9th. So, we kicked it over the weekend and shit. Had a little.
They're all friends? Like
yeah.
Your friends they're all a circle of friends? Okay. Oh, that's pretty
so we kicked it. Yeah, we kicked it. And then, we're all going to Puerto Rico because my wife turns, turns 40 on the 20th. And,
nice.
So we're going to Puerto Rico.
Tip.
It's like 10 of us going.
And
unfortunately, one of my homeboys just got he can't fucking go because he just got a fucking negative COVID test. That shit is fucking whack. His wife doesn't, but he does. So that shit is fucking lame as fuck.
Oh, damn. Yeah. So what are they going to do? Is she not going? Or she's going to
I doubt she's going to go. It's all our friends, so.
I didn't know if it was like a couple's trip or would she or do y'all all have mutual friends where she could still, kind of rock out if
she
ain't with her nigga and shit.
She's not going to leave her husband. Oh. She's not going to leave her husband.
Is he sick? I'm assuming he asymptomatic by the way you.
Nah, he ain't even know.
Right. So he asymptomatic, so he ain't even know. I wonder if she quarantining and shit. What is he doing now that he know that he's
gonna take another test.
Oh, okay.
He said he's gonna take another test because he was like, that shit could be a false positive.
Facts.
So, but then the fact, like, everybody gonna be looking at a nigga funny, like,
You get your COVID test already?
Yeah, you gotta have a COVID test.
I know. I don't know what day y'all leaving. I know you gotta get it within 3 days.
Thursday. I'm leaving on Thursday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got time to get another test. You had to get the PCR test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Your insurance pay for that shit?
Nah, they do them shit free.
The PCR test?
Yeah.
Oh no, I had to go to the urgent care to get mine because they got like the rapid test and they had the PCR test and the PCR test.
Yeah, we got the PCR. Them shits is run by the state. They can't charge you for that shit.
Oh no, they must be. That's good for there. It's definitely not run by the state here. I'm not saying you can't get a PCR test, but definitely couldn't find a place that fit all the qualifications to get into Jamaica when we went last year. I'm going to Mexico, and so you don't even need a test to get into that bitch. You need a test to get back though. But
right.
We all gonna still get tests though, so. Everybody who going either need to show that they didn't have both of their vaccinations or show a negative COVID test, regardless, because niggas want to relax. You know what I'm saying? You don't want people in your space.
But even with that though, even once you get there, you still got to be somewhat cautious because, you don't know what niggas be doing.
Well, all I can do is speak on my group of friends and how we move about, and we all move about together. And, we rent houses and shit, so we don't have to deal with other people. private beaches, boats and shit like that. So we don't be trying to fuck with people anyway. So that worked out pretty well for us in Jamaica, and hopefully, it works out well for us in Mexico. But I know that it's just crazy now that, shit is opening back up and shit. So, I mean, some shit was never closed. However, niggas is getting vaccinated and niggas is getting, back out here into these streets. And I've had so many, like DJs or, people that I know from pre-COVID partying, like, yo, we back out here, like, you coming to see me do this, or such and such going on. I'm like, listen, invite me to outside things, and I will still have to decide what type of atmosphere it is, because you can be outside and it not matter that you're outside, because motherfuckers on top of each other. So,
yep.
let me know, what I'm saying, how it works. We dealing with these fucking these gas shortages. I was gonna come on here last week when I started putting together like the show plan to talk about the damn chicken shortage after we had the corn shortage and the pork shortage. And
the corn, we had corn shortage?
Everywhere you go, you see use exact change. It's a corn.
Oh, you said
shortage.
coin. I thought you said corn.
Oh no, coin, dividends, money, metal coins. We still don't know what the fuck happened with the coins.
Yeah,
we still don't know the mystery around the coins. Like, what the fuck happened with the coins, man?
Yeah, that shit was super weird. I don't know. I don't get that to this day.
Yeah, so we never knew about that shit. I eat, as far as the pork shortage is concerned, like, I eat like, that fucking Hillshire Farm, like, smoked sausage that come in like that horseshoe type shape. You know what I'm talking about? So I eat that shit. That's my shit, right? FYI, tastes bomb in the air fryer. I'm team air fryer, gang. But that shit was tasting weird. And now it's back to, its regular taste per my opinion of that. And I was just like, oh, well, apparently the pork came back, because I felt like they stretched that shit out or something. Like, it didn't taste like the normal shit, and that's like my go-to shit. Did you experience anything with like food shortages at all? Besides, the major everybody going to get food during the height of COVID, but other than that, you experienced anything? I
don't eat pork, so I didn't even know it was a pork shortage. But
yes, sir.
But
it was a pork shortage.
I mean, I know Bojangles Bojangles saying they got a supreme shortage, but I don't really eat that shit either, so I'm not sure. I don't really be eating. Only fast food I eat is Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? And there ain't no shortage. And
Chick-fil-A do got shortages in places. Everything is
I saw that,
not
but
available.
I mean, it's wild that like it's a shortage of chicken, but it ain't a shortage of eggs.
True.
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, but you can make way more eggs than you can make chicken. Chicken
yeah,
gotta
but
grow
you just sit on the eggs.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, but just sit on the eggs.
You think it's gonna make a chicken overnight? Like, you think a chicken gonna grow in 2 days to supply you these wings, nigga? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they modify everything else. Why not?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that's still happening. I'm sure they still growing tilapia and chicken in bins and shit and feeding that shit to us, and this chicken looking like it's fucking swole as a bitch. How you went and got gas? It's currently a gas shortage.
I got gas yesterday. I already had some, like in one of my cars, I already had like a full tank, and then, I took the other car. I was on a half a tank. I just took that yesterday. When I saw that it was a fucking state of emergency declared by the fucking governor. So I was like, oh yeah. People will be losing their minds. So
yeah,
I went and got some yesterday. It was starting to ramp up, but it was like around like 7:30 or some shit. So luckily I ain't need a whole lot. And plus I'll be out of town. So I ain't really tripping.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully it'll get back to normal when I come back.
Yeah. They predicting in the next day or two it'll be fixed, but you can predict whatever you want. It's just crazy because I'm seeing like the fights in Raleigh and shit.
That shit was right up the street from my house.
Yeah, you sent me that shit, and then soon after you sent me that shit, somebody sent me another part of Raleigh, and then somebody told me like, yeah, they were fighting at some shits in Cary. I was like, God damn, like they really out this joint fighting. Like I did go get some gas today though. I mean, I had gas, but I'm at the point where I'm just like, all right, if I'm out and I'm passing the gas station, I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure my shit topped off, cause you never know. I feel like
you never know.
We're always in the fucking next stage of Armageddon and shit. Like we always dealing with some catastrophic, you know what I mean?
But
like,
they do
shit.
the gas shit every fucking year or every like 20 months or some shit like that. It's always like it seems like to be a shortage. They just trying to get their stimmy back.
Well, I can't necessarily, you know, based on some inside information, I know that that's not the case. Or I assume that's not the case unless it's a big ass bag coming from somewhere place else, because the company responsible is definitely losing money and they are definitely in a fucking panic about what the fuck is going on. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's necessarily the case this time, but hey, at the end of the day, I wouldn't put shit past shit. It could have been allegedly the company had a hack, a cyber attack by the Russians, but like everything else, it could definitely be homegrown as well. So I definitely wouldn't put that, theory
by the Russians.
Yeah.
Shit.
The Russians be having time, man. Like the Russians be having time.
Yeah, I guess.
So like cyber like warfare and shit, that they basically try to take down your country's infrastructure.
Yeah,
so
right.
They try to, so there are precautions and shit that you have to go through on an annual basis to prevent shit. But, I don't know what this company did to not have their shit in order, but I'm sure somebody advised them last year of shit that they needed in order. So I'm just interested
Gotcha.
to see, how all of this pans out. But, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, all right, people, I understand it's fight or flight, but like, just relax. Like, just kind of wait a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Before you go out there attacking people. Like, I really would be totally afraid of like some real Armageddon shit. Like the shit that we done had and how people wild out over fucking Lysol and fucking tissue and gas and like all of that shit, when really it's more. We can make more. I get it. The logistics was broken down so you couldn't, get shit to where it needed to be. But like, bro, do you know what happened? Like if niggas' backs was like 100% up against the wall.
Yeah.
That is a fucking scary ass just thought of it, because it's already anarchy, period. On any given Sunday is anarchy. So it's just like crazy, and it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and normally we do something for Mental Health Awareness Month. I'll see if maybe we can pull something off by the end of the month without every 2 weeks. But it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and it seemed like every time we think we're getting to a national place of, all right, I can relax, it seemed like there is something else that comes up. How would you kind of rate your journey over the last 15 months?
I'm good now. I was fucked up over the wintertime, but I'm good now.
How did it materialize itself? Like, how did you know, like, nah, I'm fucked up. Like, I need to get myself back right.
I mean, it was just mad shit going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just had a bunch of shit going on, like family wise. And, like I said, it was just the holidays and got dark early. And, like I was just in the house. It was cold. Like, it was just a fucked up time. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to buy a crib, which I should have, but I didn't buy a house. I should have bought the house, but I didn't. And then, whatever. So it was just mad shit. It was just like, I was kind of all over the place, just trying to like, figure shit out. And then, like I said, I had family issues going on top of all that. And then it was just a lot going on at that particular time.
How did you deal? How did you cope? How did you get yourself back right? If you in fact do consider yourself back right, like anything you can tell the people about what you did?
No, I mean, I just came up out of it. I don't know. I'm not really like I've never really had like, I mean, I've had a few, instances where I'm down in the dumps more so than not. But I mean, I had like a counselor meeting shit in March, I guess now.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit, it was cool, but it ain't really do nothing for me. It was like an introductory shit, so it was alright.
Yeah. Did you decide to do that? Or was it like, okay, I didn't know. Yeah. You know how work be like, oh, go talk to this person. Everybody, just go do it. You be like, oh, I might as well try.
Yeah, nah. So then, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I ain't really have like, nothing. I mean, it just, the weather started breaking and, I could, days started getting longer and, you know what I'm saying? And the vaccines and shit rolled out and all that shit like that. It was just, the people starting to move about and shake around and shit. So I just was able to, start to just feel like myself a little bit in terms of normalcy. You know what I mean? So. Yeah,
based on the, it seemed like based on the atmosphere around you, like you kind of like adjusted. Everybody was going back out. I guess you saw some light at the end of the tunnel, would you say?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I felt my most overwhelmed during probably like the first 3 months of the pandemic, where, I was just kind of, and I spoke about it on the show, like I was really kind of like kicking myself because I felt like, one of my things is I need time. I don't never have time. Like I'm always doing something. I'm always a part of something. I'm always trying to create something or help somebody with something. Like my time is always sucked up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I need time. I need time to do these other things. So once the pandemic happened and we were in a position where now we have unlimited time, I felt like I was not maximizing that properly. And, I was going through the same thing, kind of like everybody else of, binge watching shit, being lazy, eating shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, then, as a person who is a mover, like after I was in the, in the house or in other homes and shit like that, I just started to get like over it. So, I really tried to think about myself and, one thing about me is I said, if your manager or your director, or your boss or somebody asks you to do some shit, you would do it. So you need to be able to do shit for yourself as well. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You'll be able to pull yourself together. And it's not like I was just broken down or anything like that. But you know yourself, you know your health, you know your mental health, you know when shit ain't functioning, you know what I'm saying, like it should. Like I was just I felt like I was tired a lot. And I'm just like, why the fuck are you tired? You know what I'm saying? You're not doing half the shit that you used to do, and kind of just getting my head around that and figuring out, what makes me happy. And I'm always very avid about how I start my day. I tell y'all that numerous times on the show. I'm avid about how I start my day. I'm avid about how I manifest how my day is going to go and what I need to accomplish, and kind of getting my to-do list in my head and figuring out how to make these things work and trying to figure out how to pivot. 'Cause I'm a planner. You know what I'm saying? Like I need a plan. It's not something where I personally can just go out here and freestyle certain things. And I'm just like, all right, so this is the problem. So I need to provide a solution. And it was just kind of that way that I got myself to a place where I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to do what I can do. And what I can't, I can't. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of pull myself out of that way. But I've talked to other individuals who, didn't have it that way. So, just as a mental health awareness month, like mental health is very important. I've dealt with some issues in my family regarding like mental health issues and all of that. And I just say, if you can't shake it off yourself or be in a good place, like I just always recommend like getting some type of help. You know what I'm saying? You said that you spoke with a counselor or whatever, but you spoke with one and then you were just like, maybe, this not for me. Like I'm good. But you know what I'm saying? You took the steps. You know what I'm saying? To check that shit out.
My wife, like, I mean, I did it on I kept saying I was going to do it, but my wife like wanted me to do it because like I said, all the shit that I had going on and shit and that I've had going on for quite a while. So she was like, maybe you should reach out to him. And he was cool. You know what I'm saying? He was a cool guy, but I don't know. Like, it was like, it really wasn't anything that I hadn't like, I don't know. I could have saved my like little $75. You know what I'm saying?
That's your copay?
I don't know what it was. It's whatever the bill amount would be, but, or the, I don't know. I got to look at it. I got a HSA, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was cool. Maybe I got to find another person. He wasn't a bad guy. He was a young black dude. Not young, but he was, 45, 40-ish, so like, it was all right, but.
Yeah, I'll be looking for a certain criteria because, I've been talking, I'm going to go see somebody just because I just feel like that's something you should do. You know what I mean? Just like going to getting your physical or your gyno visit or whatever you need to go get on a routine basis. Like I'm really trying to set my life up in that way where I'm doing the proper maintenance on every part, spiritually, mentally, physically, and, figuring shit out. But it's hard out here. I didn't know that, like you always hear about like, BetterHelp and, Talkspace and all of that, all of the fucking podcasts got them as a sponsor and shit. And, I looked on their site and shit. They don't even accept insurance and that shit expensive as fuck. And I was just like, oh no, I'll just go through my normal, channels and shit. But I'm real picky about who I want as a therapist. Like I'm super picky about it. Like I need someone who's old enough to fucking understand. I definitely want somebody black. I definitely want a black female. 100% want that. I just feel like it's certain shit that no matter what training that you have, you're not going to be able to identify with certain things that I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I just want a black female, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate her to be over the age of 45. And what I also do is I go look on these motherfuckers' Instagram pages and they social media. And I just be like, is your page professional or is it like you in car pics, like fucking twerking out the back of cars and shit? And my judgment is not based on what they do in their spare time. My judgment is based on, do you know what to display about your spare time? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to maintain a business. Cause listen, I got a lot of therapist friends and, so I know they have a life too. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, based on who they're willing to let in, they have private pages and either you in or you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like type shit. So I'll be looking at like all that shit. So, but I need to find a black therapist. If you are a black female therapist over 45 and you do, virtual therapy and shit like that, hit me at the Ain't Shit Show on Instagram or at IMDC Fresh in my inbox and let me know. Cause I really am looking for somebody, even if I go like every 2 weeks or some shit like that. And depending on that copay. On that copay as well. What brought me in good mental health was watching Verzuz on Saturday. I did do that.
That shit was lit.
Bruh. Let's talk about
shit was lit.
That shit
SWV smoke boots.
Amazing. You lying.
Crazy as fuck. What are you talking about?
Let me tell you something. I already told y'all. SWV Xscape. I couldn't decide. They are like my groups, like from that fucking period of time. Like all that shit. I listen to all their albums. I know like all that shit. You thought that it was a smoked out situation for real?
I mean, not smoke, but they won. I mean, if you win by one or you beat them by 100, you beat their ass, in my opinion.
So what, in your opinion, how much did they win by?
I don't know. I was a little drunk. It was a birthday party. So like we were just in there vibing, but like we was talking shit cause one of my homegirls, she from the South Side one time for Pinky. She like the hoodest motherfucker ever and it's fucking amazing. And like, she was just like, she's like a traditional, typical Southside Raleigh girl from the rooter to the fucking tutor. And she was just talking big shit about SWV cause she would like ride for Xscape and shit. And then like, so, she was like, y'all don't even know these fucking songs, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We was like, man, shut the fuck up type shit. We was arguing and shit back and forth in a playful manner, obviously. But, so like, I think like, she's talking about, downtown. She was like, downtown? I ain't never heard the song. I was like, you a goddamn
lying like hell.
You fucking lying like shit. And then like some other shit came on. I forgot which one it was. One of them fucking big bops and shit. And she got them in there. She in there singing like a mo. I was like, nah, fuck that. Don't sing nothing. Like, you got to go outside. Like, step outside. You can't even feel none of this shit. So it was just a good time. That shit, I actually got a video on my phone. Did you know?
Let me ask you this. This is how I know if you were a fan or not.
I knew way more SWV fans.
The Xscape songs.
Nah. I mean,
see, that's why.
The major shits, but like some of them shits I ain't know.
See, listen. Okay,
I'm
so
way
this is
more
what
of an
I
SWV
decided.
fan.
I decided after watching that Verzuz, first of all, I just want to go on record and saying that may be my favorite Verzuz. It may be my favorite Verzuz for various reasons. I knew all of the songs. They actually got up and performed. It was just enough talking where it wasn't too much. And them bitches can sing. Like, them bitches can sing.
So here's the thing. They can't. Tasha can sing and Coco can sing.
Okay.
Candy can't sing.
So that's where I was
Candy's
going. That's where I was going with this, but not nowhere near what you were about to say, what you said. I decided that as far as a group is concerned, I pick Xscape over SWV only for this one singular reason. And it was the only reason I could come up with, is because Coco is, everybody on that stage can sing. I just want to say, in my opinion, everybody on that stage can sing. But Coco is the voice of SWV. Coco can sing, right? But I feel like Xscape has Tasha, who can sing, who can give you that power, who can give you that just like Coco. But I am also a fan of Candy, because Candy can sing, in my opinion.
Candy
and Tamika
sing,
can sing. And I feel like you can bring Tiny off the bench. So if you line up the singers, not by group, but by singing ability, I feel like you got Coco, all of SWV, and then Taj and Lily. I feel like Xscape just got, all of Xscape and Taj and Lily from SWV. I feel like Xscape has more voices and more actual
Lily
singers.
can sing. Taj can't really sing. Like, Lily can sing. She sings. Candy can't sing. Candy has the worst fucking
Candy.
voice in
I
the
think
world.
Candy can sing.
Her pen is amazing, but her fucking voice is
I like
terrible.
Candy voice. I will not ride with you on this one.
You're the
at
only
all.
person I've ever heard say that.
You're the
Niggas a smoker.
I think Candy can sing.
Like,
Candy was the voice of majority of the
Jesus
song.
Christ, shut that shit up. Like, you are terrible, man.
Terrible. See,
Come and hit with this pimpin'.
See, that be,
shit
y'all know my single solitary complaint with fucking B Hill is cause B Hill can't never critique. It's either lit or not.
I just critiqued it's trash.
That's it. You only got two categories. Shit is
she can't hold a candle to Tasha. Her pen is retarded. The reason the group disbanded.
Like why it got no. That's not
the reason the group disbanded is because Tasha was the main, like the lead vocalist and could sing way better than her. And she
the reason the group broke up is because Candy was fucking JD and they felt like Candy was getting more time than she deserved on the songs. And if you listen to the songs, Candy's voice is all over the songs. Hit songs. Tasha's voice is not the lead of majority of Xscape songs. I'm not saying that it shouldn't. Tasha can sing,
bro.
Candy can sing. I think I'm team
She's
Candy.
The fourth in that. Tiny sings better than Candy.
Motherfucking Tiny face couldn't even move the other night.
That has nothing to do with the fact that her voice still sounds better.
Well, why you think Tiny had the least amount of parts that she needed to have her part played?
Candy stinks. She's horrible.
You're wildin'. I'll be glad when you can get a critique in you, where you can give somebody their flowers and then like, give constructive feedback. Like, I would hate to be your employee.
Was fucking, like, by far, when she stepped on the scene, like, it was a clear.
First of all, Coco was fucking up in the beginning.
Involved.
Coco was fucking up. She admitted that, she was a little bit off.
And she still
Unfortunately, she watched some.
This motherfucker watched somebody die and was still leaps and bounds better than everybody on the stage.
I mean, all opinions count. All opinions count. I am a avid fan of both of these groups. I don't feel like anybody was smoked. I would 100% go to that concert. I would go to that tour. 1,000%. And I feel like outside of like the first few songs where I felt like everybody was kind of stiff and kind of figuring out what's going on and whatever. And shout out to Candy, because I feel like Candy was the one that kind of was breaking the ice in the beginning to get motherfuckers to stand up. to get motherfuckers to sing. Also, another shout out to Candy, because if Candy ain't nothing else, Candy is a motherfucking hustler, and Candy is gonna make sure she's selling her product, her song, or something directly related to Candy Inc. or whatever her fucking company is. I'm a Candy fan. I'm a Candy fan. Like,
I fuck with Candy. Like, I fuck with the person that Candy is. I just don't like her voice. Her voice is terrible to me. Hate it. But her like Candy. Like, I even think she's a pretty girl. I think, you know,
I think
post work and shit. Like, she's great. Her pen is amazing. Like, she knows how to write the fucking song. She traps like no other.
Facts.
I just don't fuck with her. Like, I don't fuck with her music specifically, like, at all.
Damn.
Like, her voice is, I do fuck with her music. I don't like her voice. Like, you know what I mean?
One of the things that I noticed about, Candy's pen that I kind of specifically paid attention to is like her subject matter and like her writing style. So I was just like, oh, now I can tell that this was a Candy song. You know what I'm saying? By like, she writes in a certain way that's very kind of like direct and hood kind of, you know what I'm saying? But it works. Like, she's no scrubs. She's, you know what I mean? She write all like the fuckboy anthems and, you know what I mean? Like shit like that. But Candy's dope. Again, I'm trying to think of as a whole production what Verzuz was better. And I watched it on Triller. Do you know what y'all watched it on?
We watched it we really didn't watch it. We were listening. We had it on like the phone and had it on speaker. We looked close at it when something.
So y'all didn't even have it like on a big screen or nothing like that shit.
Nah, we ain't watched the shit.
So you couldn't even avidly judge the shit. That's the shit I'm talking about.
What are you talking about, nigga? I had it on a fucking speaker. Like, all I need was the music. I ain't give a fuck about the show. Like, I don't need to see them bitches dance and shit. Nigga, I'm listening to them sing. Their songstresses. Like, that shit was on the speaker and it was loud as hell, and we was in that bitch singing and drunk. Like, that shit was a grand old time. I don't need to see them fucking perform.
I would definitely watch that Verzuz again. Like, I would put that Verzuz on in the backdrop of a gathering or somebody over or something.
That shit was lit. Like, we was in that motherfucker singing like a motherfucker. Like, I ain't give a fuck about what I didn't see step up. They ain't Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? I ain't need to see them bust no moves. Like, I needed to hear them, and I was cool. Like, I saw what I needed to see, but.
Did your wife watch
50
it?
and 60 years old. Nah, she won't. She ain't watching.
They were not 60 years old. That's fucked up.
50.
You said no, she didn't watch it?
Nah.
Oh, she ain't into like that shit?
She was doing some other shit.
Okay. Yeah, but you know, that shit was crazy. Before we get into, your black facts.
Oh shit. My bad. I forgot all about that. Give me a second.
All right. Before you get into black facts, I wanted to know, so Mark Zuckerberg is, they're going back and forth. I guess he's getting pushback about starting like an IG for kids. And when I heard that, I said, oh, hunting ground for pedophiles is what it sounds like for me. You got all the fucking kids segmented into an app, a social app at that. They already got enough going on fucking TikTok and things like that. What do you think about an IG for kids, and would you let your kids fuck with that shit?
Nope. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm let my kids stay kids as long as I can.
Yeah. At what age do you feel like you would be okay with them getting an Instagram? Because they're in what grade now?
15
like
16, some shit like that.
Oh, 15 or 16?
Yeah.
Good luck with that. I want to know how that works. Especially because they're little kids now, and you already got the little kids on the shit. By the time they get the fucking middle school, what's that, 12?
We'll see, but I don't know. It just depends on where they are, like what type of kids they are and shit.
Yeah, how mature they are, how they develop. Would you give one child something like that and not give the other based on maturity? So both children got separate?
Probably not. I doubt it. Cause one way, they all gonna be on the shit anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's not how that works with like multiple kids. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody like, if I have my daughter like on it and then she got a phone, you think her brothers ain't gonna be looking at it. You know what I mean? Like it's either.
I don't know. Cause I don't think I was, I don't have multiple kids, but I was a child of multiple kids. But your kids are twins, so I can see that happening. Cause I was just like.
My youngest is 3 years behind them, so.
Yeah. But I was just like, I don't feel like me and my brother was all Sherry, not with social media, of course, because they didn't have that. But I'm thinking like me, my brother, my sister, would we share something like that? Because I just wanted him out my way for the most part. That was my nigga, but at a certain age, it was kind of like, ew, you go do your thing, I go do my thing. So I'm interested. I'm gonna check back in in 7 years and see how that shit going. You got your black fat?
Yeah.
Let me give it. Bees black. Give it me, Boppo. Bees black facts.
I want to congratulate Darren E. Bryant. He makes history as the youngest black mayor in Illinois. He took office after an election victory against Mayor Tyrone Ward in April.
It was
so I guess Tyrone. Nah.
Oh,
well, maybe so, because it says
Tyrone,
history as the youngest
white
black. Tyrone is definitely got to be a black guy. But yeah, it says he against Mayor Tyrone Ward in April, becoming the youngest black mayor in Illinois history after receiving 52% of the votes. The 29-year-old will take the seat as mayor of the village of Robbins in Illinois. So shout out to brother, young brother.
And how old is he?
29.
29. That's good. That's what's up. That is what's up. I like black excellence.
Robbins, Illinois.
Robbins, Illinois. So shout out to the people of Robbins, Illinois. Let us know how that worked for you. If we have any listeners in Robbins, Illinois. I wonder how big Robbins, Illinois is. I
heard of Robbins, Illinois. I think it's outside of, I'm about to look it up. I think it's outside of Chicago. So I think a lot of that shit bleeds over.
Then it might be like a suburb. So he might have some people to rock with.
Let's see. Southwest of Chicago in Cook County. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's still in Cook County. So that shit is like population of 5,337 at 2010 census. So, yeah. I don't know.
So it's only 5,000 people. 5,337, yeah.
Yeah, it's a small little
it's probably
town.
A little bit, you know what I'm saying? Probably like a small little something. But that's what's up, though. That's what's up,
sure.
though. Keisha Lance Bottoms leaving office. I'm sad about that.
I don't blame her.
You think she getting pushed out?
Or she just that's probably a combo. Probably 50-50. Like, she's probably getting pushed out one, or, I mean, it's got a lot of shit going on. I mean, she just hired back the nigga that killed Buddy and shit, and then she fucking, like.
Wait, I don't know that part. Who she hired back?
The police officer that killed the dude in Wendy's.
For real? Rayshard
Brooks.
Yeah.
Yep. So the white dude coming back from suspension and shit.
Oh, wow. Didn't even hear that. That little piece of tea didn't come across.
So niggas was firing her up for that. And then like the crime rate's risen. I mean, that's due to a pandemic, I guess. I can't really, I mean, but that shit seemed like a stressful job. Like them niggas, this is a whole pandemic and niggas is like not acting like it. That shit would fucking.
And you don't have the support of your governor and you got to fight with the nigga that's over the state. Like,
yeah. In the most predominant city.
Right. Which sounds like regular day in fucking corporate America for real. You gotta fight for some shit. Like, you gotta fight for the right thing over somebody. Like, I really like Keisha. Rumor is, she's going to be like some executive and get paid like some crazy bread over at Walgreens or something. I don't know if that is true. That shit, is
I'll be out too. Fuck that shit.
Listen,
how much does the mayor make?
Not a lot, cause the president only make like 4 something.
Like 440, right?
Yeah. You remember the president up until like maybe 2 terms ago, the president only made like 2 something. You think I'm about to go through all that stress for they used to make $220,000 a year, my nigga. I was a poli-sci major. Like, now they make
like 440.
Nah, they was making like 2 something. But they ain't gotta pay for shit. It was a couple administrations back, but that's how much they raised it. They raised it in the last few like administrations. I mean, at the end of the day, you ain't got to pay for shit, but still, like, I feel like, you take them jobs for 1 or 2 reasons. Like, you really honestly and truly believe that you can impact change, or you are just power hungry, pretty much. Like, cause it's no other reasons, in my opinion, to take on that type of stress. As a political figure, or you doing some illegal shit or some shit like that. But I feel like most of these motherfuckers are fucking horrible. But man, listen, shout out to
so ZipRecruiter fucking has 38,000 to 380,000 for the mayor of Atlanta, just in case you wanted to apply.
338,000
to 38,000 to 338,000. I mean, excuse me, 380,000. That's a wild fucking range.
That is a wild range. And I want to know who qualified for the 38,000 because I do not want them to be the mayor of anything. Not
so
even
the council members make 60,300 to 72,360. The mayor will get a bump of almost 20,000, making $202,000.
That ain't worth it. Not in my opinion. But I'm happy that there are people who are willing to do that, and especially black people that are willing to.
Nigga, the governor of fucking North Carolina don't make $202,000.
What's his density? How many people he dealing with? Look.
Governor of NC salary.
And Keisha should definitely make more than that. She got 50% of the fucking population. I just talked to a homegirl about that and how shit was divided. She the only black person and she got fucking 50% of the company she responsible for. And I'm just like, damn.
$202,000 is, I mean, that's a lot of money. Like if fucking president makes 400,000.
Yeah. I mean, that is a lot in that comparison for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all supposed to be
the governor,
civil
Roy
servants.
Cooper makes the governor of North Carolina makes 142,000. And lieutenant governor makes
142,000. He's stressing everybody out for $142,000. Yeah, you in it for the power. Huh?
He ain't stressing everybody out.
No, I'm thinking about, my mind, switched to Kemp.
How did the North Carolina state controller, whatever that is, makes 158,000.
They
and the governor makes 142.
That's the person who know where all the money goes. So you got to get them something because they know what everybody else making. So you got to get them something. You can't shit on them because they got access to the fucking files.
But they shouldn't make more than the governor though.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it. That's what I said.
Pretty prestigious fucking, like you the head of one of the 50 states. Like that's wild.
I mean, let's keep it a band. Let's look at all these incompetent motherfuckers that really not qualified to do those fucking jobs, to be fucking governors and shit. So a lot of them probably making what their intelligence deserves, to be completely
If that's the case, they shouldn't make that.
Huh? Well, yeah.
If that's the case, they shouldn't
make
that.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Half them niggas is just racing incompetent bastards anyway. So like, but I definitely wouldn't do that shit for that amount of money. Like,
I probably run shit for about 2 years. That shit, it's a 2-year term, right? Is it 6 or 2 years to be mayor?
2. No, yeah. 4. I thought it was 4.
I don't think it's 4.
Let's see. How long?
Come on, poli-sci. Use that degree.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I told you this on another show. All that I learned, I need all my money back. Don't none of that shit apply. Once Trump got in office, I need all my money back. None of that shit applies. For that shit too. That's fucked up. I need all my money back. Cause y'all told me some shit.
Russian hackers, if y'all in the business of hacking some shit, I know some niggas named Fanny.
Facts.
That need your services.
I know Fanny. I know, it's 4 years. It's 4 years. Mayoral term is 4 years.
Shit, I get that fucking 800,000 for fucking 4 years.
Bro, you gonna come out that bitch like fucking, I'll say this. It depends on what state or what city. I'm not taking Atlanta on for that amount of money. It ain't worth that.
You ain't getting that shit in no other state though. I mean, I don't know. I won't say that, but I would imagine like they probably how much
Bowser gets. She should be getting DC mayor. Mayor Bowser pay. We up here looking at pay.
I know, right? Counting motherfuckers' pockets.
Right.
Fuck it.
How much does Mayor Bowser? What's her name? Yeah, her name Bowser. How much does she make? Oh, I ain't know DCA got another stimulus. Somebody didn't update me on the stimmy.
Purposely.
Right.
Niggas like, owe you money.
Niggas got. They say she make 220.
God damn.
They in fucked up cities. I mean, I don't want to say fucked up cities because those are my cities. I love DC. I love Raleigh and Durham. I love Atlanta. But yeah, they dealing with a fucking lot. It ain't worth $220. I would not run DC for $220,000
right.
at all. I wouldn't run Atlanta for $220,000.
Shit, I would. Fuck that. If I'm only gonna do one term, I'm about to get that 800 racks. Fuck that, and then go get a fucking executive position at fucking Walgreens. After I fuck the city up real quick. Fuck
Listen,
that.
You gonna have to do a good job in order to make yourself hireable for the next shit.
Man,
you black, you can't go out
anyway.
here and you black. You just can't go out here and act a fool and then think people gonna fuck with you.
Nigga, the mayor of Raleigh makes more than the governor. What the fuck?
I mean, but what do the governor really do? The mayors
the
do
mayor
all the
do?
work. The mayor runs the whole city. The governor pretty much runs the mayors. So you kind of like a manager.
So
You're just a
you make more than
manager.
your boss. Imagine that.
Yeah,
Like, you
your
can't tell me
manager
shit, boss.
your boss has more power, I feel like, but less money and less responsibility.
Fuck, my boss makes more money than me.
No, I'm talking about in this particular scenario.
Yeah, but that's crazy though. Like America is fucked up. If you think about that shit, like the city mayor makes $179,800 and the fucking governor of the entire state makes $145,000. He is that shit. That's like the principal not making less than the teachers. That makes no sense.
Yeah. I think I think that is kind of like, okay, you're the governor, you're the CEO. I get it. But all of the risk,
CEO in the world is making less money than their employees. Right.
But I think CEOs have more risk than the fucking governor. What does the governor do besides take the information from the mayors and make a decision? He's not out here managing the day-to-day of these individual cities and towns and shit. He just waiting to hear
that's because he's the governor, because he's the CEO. He needs to funnel all the information and make calculated decisions.
Yeah. Well, hey.
That's what all CEOs do. Like CEOs ain't, you know what I mean? Like anybody, that's fucking nuts to me. I can't believe that.
But here's the thing. If your operations fuck up, your CEO gone. Right? If your operations or your whatever individual department.
Same with the lieutenant. I mean, same with the governor. Them niggas getting voted out.
If motherfucking Keisha Lance Bottoms fuck up Atlanta, she gone. Fucking Kemp gonna still be there. Kemp gotta fuck up kind of on his own.
Nah, but they can't remove you. They can't remove you unless they can't like impeach you unless there's some impeachable shit.
Right.
So the only way that you're removed is if one, you don't fucking run again, or two, you do run again and you get voted out.
That's true.
Same with any, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. True. It still makes no sense. Like, these niggas are at the top of the totem pole and don't make the most money. That shit is nuts. And that just might be a North Carolina thing, but I don't know.
So the governor term is 4 years and they can't do any more than 2 terms. That's good.
Correct. In North Carolina, that actually just changed because I think you could have ran 4 times, I believe, in North Carolina a couple years, like, I don't know.
You could run 4 times or you could be elected 4 times.
You can be elected 4 times. You used to be. It's not like that now. It's only 2 terms, but you can rerun it. You can run again. Like if you get voted out, you can run again.
Virginia is the only state with a 1-term limit. That's why Virginia.
Good old Commonwealth.
Right, exactly. Virginia always on some shit. Virginia is one of those states that it is truly like dependent upon like what part of Virginia you in. Like Northern Virginia and Southern Virginia and
Western
like the
Virginia,
middle. Yeah, like
Eastern,
all that shit is totally fucking different.
That is a fucking fact. That's a fact. Like Northern Virginia, like that, like Alexandria, Burke, all that shit. Like Woodbridge, all that shit is completely different from, say, Richmond and Norfolk and, you know what I mean, and shit like that. That shit is nuts. That's a fact.
It is
like
totally
North Carolina
different.
is pretty much like outside of like the major cities, Raleigh, Charlotte, you know, Greensboro for what it's worth, Winston-Salem, whatever. Like outside of that shit is rural as fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much country outside of, you know, maybe Wilmington or some shit. But outside of those, and even Greenville's fucking country outside of, like, it's just a college state.
Yeah.
But
I think that it's
Virginia
interesting.
got all that shit.
They do. They really have all of it because I had a job interview like 2 weeks ago or whatever. And, they called me. I thought the job was remote They said that it wasn't. But then she was like, would you consider moving to Virginia? I said, what part? Cause that makes a big difference. What fucking part of Virginia? You talking about Northern Virginia? Okay, that might be doable, but I'm gonna need this type of bag in order to have a job in Northern Virginia.
$250,000 a year just so I can buy a house that costs $700,000. That's a townhouse.
Facts.
That shit high as a motherfucker, dog.
Facts. And then Richmond, I can't really see myself living there. And then you got like that Southern Virginia or Western Virginia. And then don't get over there close by like West Virginia. Who the fuck lives in West Virginia? Do we have any listeners that live in West Virginia? I only know one person who is from West Virginia.
I've never met anybody from West. That's not true. I worked with a girl from West Virginia.
So Tilly claims the bull, Tilda, our friend we always talk about. Tilly claims the bull city.
Oh, happy birthday to Tilly too.
Yeah, happy birthday to her. Her birthday was this weekend. She was in New Orleans. Shout out to Tilly. But she originally is from fucking West Virginia.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did remember her saying that.
And every time I think of West Virginia, I think of like the hills have eyes and shit. Like a bunch of inbred motherfucking like crazy motherfuckers, low, like, yeah, like she the only person I know ever from West Virginia.
I don't know nobody either.
What do you hear about West Virginia? Like, West Virginia is one of the places that you like never hear about, like the Dakotas.
Yeah, I'm straight. I don't know. I don't even care. Just because of the fact that I don't even acknowledge them.
Oh, where she's from, there is in fact a lot of like, well, listen, we just talk about inbreeding, so I guess interracial dating ain't a big thing either. If they, it's a lot of mixed couples and shit.
She is right, like.
Yeah, Tilly, yellow bone, shout out to Tilly, man. Hey, let's get into some lit or shit. You ready to get into some lit or shit?
Mm-hmm.
Lit or shit is our segment where we talk about the pop culture shit. Everything on your fucking timeline. I see that it looks like you are, sober gopher today.
That's not true.
Did you drink anything? Oh, okay. What are you on today, Mr. Hill?
I'm drinking a Blue Moon right now and smoke a little weed.
Oh, smoked a little weed. I have not smoked a little weed. I have my pen nearby though, but I am participating in a little Ciroc Summer Citrus. Limited.
Is that the red bottle?
That is like that, orange peach looking bottle. It fades.
Oh yeah,
nice
yeah,
looking
yeah.
bottle.
How is it?
It's good. It's good. I'm drinking it with, tonic water. So, I get to, it tastes like, when I do that, it tastes like soda to me. Like, it tastes like like a Fanta or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's good. I like it. I usually buy bottles here. So I bought a bar, or a bar, I don't want to call it a cart because it's not a cart, but I bought like a bar stand or whatever. So I've been trying to make sure like I stack my bar and shit. So I go shopping here at Total Wine. If you are in Atlanta, Total Wine, cause not every Total Wine sells liquor in your state. So all I can do is speak for Atlanta. If you get your liquor, get it from Total Wine. It's usually, the cheapest. However, I usually pay $29.99 for Ciroc. Went to Lax in DC. Shout out to Lax, man. Ciroc, $21.99 for the same bottle. Yeah, let me get a few of them.
Slowly.
Let me get those. Let
me
get
slowly and cheaply.
Hey, you gonna drink it anyway? You might as well get it for the cheap, my nigga. Like, you might.
Yeah, I know, I get it. I'm just saying. It just so happens that
in volume. Yeah. Yeah. So if you are looking for alcohol and you are in the DC area, I just fuck with Lax so heavy because, Lax, is I don't know where Lax from. He might be like a Indian DJ Khaled type nigga. I don't know what nationality he is, but I can say that I respect him because he does a lot for the community. Like you always see him giving back. He always having something come up there, get some free shit or whatever. I don't know the guy personally. But when you see people and what they do, it kind of make you want to support them more because you see how they using their time and like using their wealth and shit like that. And I know that nigga guy had money. You'll see him on like boats and shit with his son, but it ain't really like no stunting type shit. So I know that nigga got money and he just opened up, another location. I want to say in Marlboro Heights, Upper Marlboro. I forget where it's at, but it used to be the old Circuit City. So that lets you know how big the shit is.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
that's
can
dope.
open it up another, liquor store. So shout out to Lax. If you're in DC area and you need, alcohol under the price, and Lax always had the Ciroc Connect, cause he had Puff up there one time. Like he always had the Ciroc Connect. I don't know the extent of that relationship, but follow them on
Probably
Instagram.
some Howard ties and shit.
Maybe. I don't know. He ain't black though. He definitely
Yeah,
black.
but I mean, Puff went to Howard. So.
Yeah. So,
through parties and shit, so.
That shit is dope. But let's get into our first, bullshit story. So I want to name litter shit, big money love, cause that's what we're talking about for the most part of what went on in the past week or so. It was actually pretty quiet. Shout out to hip hop for being pretty quiet. I like that. That mean, ain't but so much fuck shit going on. But you heard about, Melinda and Bill Gates calling it quits?
Oh yeah.
White rich news. So Melinda Gates and, Bill Gates are getting a divorce. Based on media reports, it sounds like it's something that was initiated by Melinda Gates. Melinda Gates is 56 years old. Her and, Bill Gates have been together for 25 years, and they are a billionaire couple, and they announced the ending of their marriage in a joint statement on Twitter, saying that we no longer believe that we can grow together as a couple in the next phase of our lives. I love that, corporate speak.
Right.
We can no longer, grow into the next phase of our lives, which I get it. But Melinda Gates is a global advocate for women and girls, and was uncomfortable with the relationship that Bill Gates had with Jeff Epstein. For y'all who, for whatever reason, don't remember who Jeff Epstein is, Jeff Epstein is a human trafficker, known for having his own island and having numerous of your favorite celebrities down there to have sex with underage girls, including your president, your ex-president, and two of your former ex-presidents, some athletes and a bunch of other influential niggas going down there to, have sex with underage girls. He killed himself in prison allegedly killed himself in prison. My theory is they killed his ass cause he knows too much, and it could take down the whole infrastructure of nasty ass, rich ass white men, my opinion. But, she had concerns about that. And she had concerns about the fact that Bill Gates allegedly continued his relationship with Jeff Epstein after she expressed her concerns. So you can understand how a woman whose philanthropy, cause basically her job has been like Miss Bill Gates. And so when you're Miss Billionaire or Miss Millionaire, you do philanthropy work. So she has a warm spot for women and girls, and now your husband is gallivanting around with a known trafficker, pedophile, and various other offenses. In 2019, they said that Melinda Gates started meeting with lawyers in 2019, and Bill Gates has said that he regrets meeting Epstein, and he recognizes it was an error in judgment to do so. The kind of classic white man statement after he just can't get out of no shit. He'd be like, my bad, error in judgment. But on May 3rd, the filings say that the couple agreed to a separation contract to divide their assets. Now, the Gates assets are $130 billion. $130 billion. And assets also include $131 million lakeside compound in Washington State. They also own some Leonardo.
Oh, that shit fire.
131 million. What does $131 million compound
Nigga, I know that
look
shit
like?
fire.
You
like,
know
I
it got all the technology.
State of the art, like a motherfucker, dog. Like, I know
Gotta
that shit
be.
is fire.
131 million? Like, I can't even wrap my head around like 131
That's fucking,
million.
I know, I need to, man, that shit is crazy. I gotta get my shit together.
Right. Look. I'm trying to get a damn $500,000 house and wondering about that shit. These niggas got a fucking $131 million compound. When you got shit like that, y'all ain't even gotta see each other for real. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. They also own, a rare Leonardo da Vinci notebook and also investments in Microsoft and the Four Seasons Hotel. This could be one of the biggest divorces in history, especially if they're talking about splitting this shit down the middle. That's $65 billion a person. Right. That's now,
and they ain't got no kids.
No, they got 3 kids.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they got 3 kids. The youngest one is a senior in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, you know, they definitely have kids. This is expensive. 25 years, 3 kids, possibly $65 billion. What you think? Yay or no? She deserves. Talk about this. That's a lot of bread.
I mean, when you got 65 billion, it's still 65 billion. And like, you'll get, I just was like, fucking, I'm good. Like, here, do your thing. Like, have the 65.
I kind of feel like after a certain amount of money.
They don't have a prenup, so technically she's entitled to half of his livings.
Yeah. Yeah. $65 billion.
That's it. I mean,
and,
it's a letter of the law.
I kind of feel like, especially at this level of the game where you're talking about multiple billions of dollars, you didn't need that money in the first place. This is about just hoarding wealth at this point in time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 65 is fucking, that's crazy.
So you worth $130 billion. Now these niggas cut you in half. From an ego standpoint, I feel like you're going to have a problem with that. Not you, I'm just saying the general you. Like, I feel like you're going to have a problem with that because it's not like, nigga, after you got past fucking $20 million, you was pretty much good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, depending on your lifestyle, of course, but I feel like after 20 million, if you live a halfway decent life, you good. You got $130 billion. I wonder what Bill Gates spend that on.
That's crazy, man. You can't spend that.
I'm saying, what does he spend his money on, like, in general?
Nothing.
Like, you just got it, swimming in it like Scrooge
McDuck. I mean, he probably eat good food and shit and, take nice, but I mean,
good food.
It's only so much shit you can buy. Like, you run out of shit to buy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You can only have, so much jewelry, and he white, so he ain't wearing no jewelry.
Yeah, he ain't wearing no drip.
Yeah, I mean, he probably got, a nice fleet of cars. I was looking at fucking Ross was at, Jay Leno's garage, like on his Instagram. Man, that nigga got so many I'm talking about this nigga got, like, Ross got cars. Like, Ross probably got 50 cars. This nigga, Jay Leno, had a fucking compound filled with fucking, like, this nigga had a fucking helicopter motor, like, from the 1942 fucking fighter pilot, like, all type of shit. Like, and that nigga ain't even nowhere near Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it depends on what niggas be like, he probably got a rack of computers or some shit. Like, who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? Like,
he got a rack of computers for free. He just got his employees to build them shits.
Yeah.
Like, so he ain't got to pay for that shit.
Who knows, man?
He can get IT come set the house up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like, real
you
shit.
ain't really
like,
got to pay for nothing.
Geek Squad. For real.
Nah, like, seriously, I always wonder, like, I would love to just be in the day in the life, like, of these type of people. Like, I feel like they probably absorb, like, massive amounts of money on, like, little shit that we don't fucking think about. And not necessarily the things that we think about.
$5,000 and shit, go to give a waiter $5,000. I would be doing shit. Like, if I had, I'd just be, cause you can't take that shit with you.
Like, I feel like you probably got, like, a pool of, like, imported water that you always fill that shit up. Like, I feel like you just buy shit that's just, like, insane. And what I would like in my life is to have so much money, I don't know what to do with it. I want those type problems.
Yeah,
I already know what I do with money like that. Nigga, you ain't gonna tell me I got $130 billion and it ain't a whole town that's fucking Freshville.
Sneakers app. Hell,
where black people live at. Like, I already want to buy a block.
That's what I go
You'll buy sneakers app. I'm gonna start my own fucking sneakers app. Like,
buy that shit.
Start my own shit.
And just get all the shoes.
Nigga, you got that type of money, all that shit coming to your house, you ain't even gotta buy shit.
That's true.
And when you got money, you don't have to pay for shit. That's the fucked up part about the rich being richer and the rich getting richer. Like, once you got money, you don't have to pay for shit. Buying shit is for poor people.
That's fair.
Like me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, buying shit is for poor people. Hey, I just want you to know too, like, I'll let you know, but I made a purchase. I made a sneaker purchase. And I'll share it with you.
Oh, you got the red shits? The red sixes?
I'll let you know.
I know that's what you got. That's what it is. You got the red sixes. I already know. I seen them on Instagram the other day. I was like,
I said, should I get them?
And you got them.
Listen, I've been saying I was going to get them for, 2-3 years. So who knows? Tune in to the next Ain't Shit show to understand.
You definitely got them. It's fine.
What did Fresh buy herself for her birthday? Like, I didn't buy a whole bunch of other shit, but this is specifically designated for my birthday gift. One of the themes for my birthday trip is bikinis and sneakers. So I'm not going to have on a bikini, of course.
Oh, I'm about to say, turn up then.
No. I ain't going out this bitch looking like fucking Homer Simpson in a fucking bikini. Not about to happen. But,
so is it either bikinis and or sneakers, or is it both? Or like, obviously it's not both.
It's swimsuits and sneakers.
Gotcha.
Pretty much. And, it's a couple guys with us too. So, but, the ladies in my squad will definitely have, be naked in these bikinis. I mean, in these sneakers pretty much.
Some fat asses ever roll with you, Jack.
Listen.
One time for them fat butts.
One
there was a new fat butt that I wasn't privy to. I was like, ooh, hey, new fat butt. Haven't seen you before. Welcome. Welcome to my eyes.
Welcome to my eyes. Hey, look, I find it funny too, cause I'm like, B-Hill definitely be looking. Definitely be looking. He don't be saying shit though. You don't say too much.
Yeah, I ain't no creep. Nasty, man. I see a fat butt every day of my life, but I mean, I appreciate them. I appreciate them very much.
Shout out to all the ladies with fat butts. Nice fat butts.
For sure.
If you get surgery, get gut surgery. Oh, another thing that I learned, a lot of y'all is getting your body done.
Yeah,
and
the BBLs is running rampant, Jack.
Right. And fucking sitting in the house eating while you recovering. That's not how the body works, boo.
Yeah.
Like, once you take off this,
it doesn't work like that.
Right. Y'all sitting in the house waiting to heal. And with these courses on, you gonna unleash that stomach.
Nigga, I know a girl so dedicated to this fucking BBL. She was pregnant and was ended up going into labor early because she was wearing a fucking waist trainer, trying to keep her shape. And as a bitch.
That is the most.
Yeah. I don't know her. Well, I know her mama, but I knew it's crazy. I'm going to send you a picture of the girl.
Do her body look good?
I'll let you make a decision. It doesn't look bad. I mean,
I'll let you make a decision.
Yeah, I think it looked good, but I mean, you could tell it's BBL, but like, she a cute girl. She just a fucking bird. Shit, wow.
I hate birds, bro. I hate birds. Like, because, listen, I'm all for.
She wore a fucking waist trainer while she was pregnant. And it caused her to go into labor early.
But these are the same birds that are going to get BBLs and then getting pregnant. Like, how long did she have her BBL before she got pregnant?
I don't know.
Like, you don't know.
This her third one, but
her third BBL, her third child. So with Melinda Gates, right? 56. She back out here. Single. Would you know how to date in 2021? And you've been married 10 years?
I'm so glad I ain't got to do that shit.
You should be happy. You should be happy about that part. You wouldn't know how to date at all in 2021, huh?
Nah, hell no. Cool.
What are some things that you hear
not around this motherfucker anyway?
You hear it's common that you like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that particular part of dating anymore.
Mad shit. Like, I got mad single friends that be trying to figure out. What do they say
that you just like, yeah, I'm glad I ain't got to deal with that? Anything in particular that they talk about where you just like, thank God I'm married?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, just hearing the shit that I can't really pinpoint it, but it's just all the shit, like all the different fucking shit that they be having to deal with. I'm like, boy, goddamn, I'm glad I ain't got to do that shit. Like, just all of it. I can't really pinpoint something specific when it comes to mind, but like, I mean, just in the social media area, like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, you got so much shit to deal with and compete with, you know what I mean? Yeah. I ain't got time for it.
It's very interesting. I had a social media conversation not too long ago about like dating, social media, like shit like that, and talking about the like and follow rule, right? So like if there is like it's like this unspoken thing that's like, oh, if you go in, you like X amount of pictures, like you gotta do it in a good number. Like don't be like creepy or obsessive. Like maybe you like the first 2, like the first 3 or whatever, and then you follow somebody. And then it's like, oh, okay, if they follow you back, you know what I'm saying? Cause you done prompted their attention. They gonna look back, they gonna look at your page, whatever. Decide if, I guess, you or your page or whatever is worth following or whatever. So we were talking about like how many pics is like too much and shit. And like some of my, same homegirls that you were, giving props to a few minutes ago and their physiques. They were talking about like how niggas be like ODing and shit, like going in like in 20 pictures and shit like that. And then, they follow them and then they hit them in the DM and say like some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And they're just like, I'll be so over this shit. Like niggas is just so corny, like, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever you into. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers be so corny, but it mainly be the niggas that be doing like corny shit or whatever. And I'm like, dang, like, I wonder how many pics is too many, because I've had a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, go down and like a whole bunch of fucking pics. But I also know that, you know what I'm saying, like, I do shit like this. You know what I'm saying? So I have a podcast and things like that. And you might not be liking fucking 20 pics because you want to fuck me. You might just be liking 20 pics because you like, hey, you cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the case may be. So I never like assume. Like I get, like motherfuckers be talking the most shit about me because they like, oh, I know the most about everybody else shit, and then I be oblivious to my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I used to like you, like you never tried anything. I'm like, why you ain't try nothing? Like why you ain't holler at me? You know what I'm saying? Like then motherfuckers start laying out the shit that they did to try to get my attention. I was like, oh, I didn't even take it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I didn't take it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just be like that. But when I'm not into like I'm a pretty sociable person. You know what I'm saying? And, sans COVID, I'm pretty much, avid, meet people in person type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how my connections. And like, I know a lot of people who like online date and shit like that. And we get into these debates of, their argument is always like, motherfuckers just as creepy when you meet them in person. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, at least I got to kind of get your vibe off top. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got to sit down at a dinner to kind of get the initial vibe. You might be a whole fucking weirdo out this bitch. I'm not into like the online dating and shit like that. I really be trying to say like, maybe that's something that I would do. And not because of the lack, I'm not going to even go too far, but I was like, not because of the fact of not meeting people. It's just that sometimes you may be interested in a certain subset of people. You know what I'm saying? That you're not regularly around, whether they're like professionals or, you know what I mean? Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't even talking about like off no freaky shit or nothing like that. I'm just talking about like a certain, caliber of person. Not saying that. Do you ever get in trouble about shit you say on this podcast?
Nah.
Ever? For your wife? Your wife listen though, don't she?
I don't think so. She don't really be listening. She used to, but she's not really in the pod. She's not really in the podcast like that. So,
Tib, I need you to listen to us. But you have, situations or whatever going on, and, I just be talking on here. First of all, let me be clear. I am very much single. I'm very single, but sometimes talk a lot and have to stand by or declare or clarify or lie about what you said, on this podcast, which is very interesting. But I don't know about that dating online. Could you date online if you were single? Based on what you know about dating online? I
mean, DMing and shit and fucking Instagram is fucking dating online. Like,
that's true. That
shit is the same. That's no different. Like, if you see some shit and a motherfucker you like and motherfucker follow you back, and shit manifests itself into some shit outside of Instagram, that's no different than fucking where blackpeoplemeet.com type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Literally the same shit. You know what I mean? It's just, you ain't paying for that shit.
Shout out to you, and I guess we no longer get sponsored by Tasty Blacks. I ain't heard nothing about Tasty Blacks in a very long time.
I rub my meat to Tasty Blacks quite often.
Oh my God.
Yeah, one time for Tasty Blacks. Yeah, I guess they haven't really been uploading as much. I don't know. You would think that the pandemic would have brought out more porn videos. The blacks ain't as tasty as they
used to be, my guy.
I think it's more like OnlyFans killed a lot of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh. But I have seen like a lot of OnlyFans content like on there, like people like pirate some shit and like it'll be OnlyFans, but then that shit be trash because it's like, y'all bitches don't. It ain't no production value. You know what I'm saying? Not that you really need a whole lot of production, but like angles and. You know, you don't want to see like certain shit for 12 minutes in a row. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas be having like one laptop and shit, like and be positioning that shit all the way in the room. That shit be trash. So, you would think that the production, but I guess COVID, shut down production for that shit too. You know what I mean?
Damn, that's crazy. Cause OnlyFans did in fact become the kind of like the platform.
Right.
I had an investigation recently and a nigga allegedly spent like 5 hours on OnlyFans. And
I remember you said that last show.
What kind of saved the nigga based on the software that we have? What kind of saved him was the fact that they didn't have the software involved that could take you behind the paywall. So you got to pay to be on OnlyFans and shit. You got a subscription to whoever you subscribe to. But all the information that we had would just say he was on OnlyFans. So he could have easily, I'm just like, if he's smart, when I talk to him, he just gonna say, yeah, OnlyFans is not just for porn. I was on it for this shit.
I wouldn't have said nothing about porn. I wouldn't have said that. I would have been like, yeah, I was just, like one of the artists that I like post a lot of stuff on their shit. And then I
would have been like, and what type of material is that? And I would have been like, we already have the information, so you might as well just be upfront with it.
Rock bands. I ain't into the shit. Fuck that. I like rock bands. It was a rock band.
Rock bands. And then when I be like, oh, well, according to the information I have from IT. See, that's the thing. I try.
Cause you're going to fire me anyway. If I'm saying I'm watching porn, you're going to fire me. Like, there's no saving grace, right?
So, under normal circumstances in other places, I would definitely say no. But I would definitely say at the particular corporation that I am now, they put a little bit more value on honesty and just admitting some shit. Like, if you just straight up lie to me, you out. You out altogether. Like, you straight up out. You know what I'm saying? If you can hit them with some shit like, I would have said some shit like, I was watching the shit at home or whatever the case may be. And then when I came into the office, it hit the network or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be thinking about like shit like that. But my man said, he saw that the actress from Bernie Mac, he read an article. Porn always, I read it for the articles. You know what I mean? He said he saw the article and shit about, the Bernie Mac's daughter on the show, or the little chocolate girl from the show. Oh, that she now has a OnlyFans or whatever.
So it's a black dude?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
cause then, I mean, it's still weird either way, I guess. But she's a grown ass woman, so not really. But it's still weird that you watching from your work computer, which is stupid as fuck.
Right. His argument was that, hey, I saw this article. She looked bad. I could have possibly clicked on it, but I promise you, I do not have an OnlyFans. And, my job is to be fair, but I do understand that there is a curve there that you might not get away with some shit that some other niggas will get away with. You know what I'm saying? But, I am, because of the type of work that I do and because I'm a woman and all of these other things, like, I feel like you're a total creep if you gotta watch porn at work. Like, you can't wait.
Yeah, it's a while.
You can't wait till you get, like, you willing to jeopardize your whole livelihood.
Was he in the office or working from home?
He was in the office.
Oh, yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah. Oh, over my career, I've fired numerous over watching porn at work.
You a wild nigga, man.
Numerous niggas from watching porn at work. And in some of those investigations, I ask for the information from IT, and IT sends me over images. So I can see exactly what they're looking at, what time they're looking at, how long they were looking at.
Yeah, man. You can't, like, nigga, go to your car.
Something. You know, I am a person where that's what I'm saying. Like, it weirds me out, people who can't control themselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you can't control yourself, like, listen, I'm gonna control myself for my bread. Like, a lot of times when we on this show and we talk about, like, the dumb shit that these celebrities do, and I'm just like, damn, you couldn't control yourself for this bag? You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't control yourself for this bag? Like, I'm motivated by the bag. Like, this Xfinity, this fucking Georgia Power, all that shit gonna come. Right. Gonna come like clockwork. That shit gonna come like clockwork. And your meat needs to be beat so hard right then, immediately, that you're willing to risk all that shit.
You a wild nigga, my boy. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I have. Like, listen, you like, niggas are, like, I'm saying niggas like the general term. Like, motherfuckers is really, like, be on some other shit. Like, I had a nigga who fucking, like, watched porn, and he sat in a cubicle, my nigga. You ain't even got an office to watch your porn. Your fucking chair faces the aisle, my nigga. When I see shit like that, it don't have, I believe like you're a rapist or some shit. Like, you really can't control yourself.
Yeah, nigga nasty, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody walked by and saw him fucking watching the fucking porn. And listen, I understand from the fact that I'm not really a porn watcher. Like, I'm not a porn watcher.
I mean, that's just sex, though. You can't, like, just be having sex. Like, you can't even really be watching, like, shit. Like, you can't even watch, like, highlights and basketball shit. Like, that's not work. You know what I mean? Like, it's not work related. Like,
B, you would be so surprised at the conversations that I have to have.
I believe it.
And like, the other thing about you is that you are a white collar worker.
Yeah.
These blue collar niggas be on some other shit, my nigga. Like, and listen, the people that I fired in the past have definitely been, you know, corporate employees that I fired in regards to that. Or I don't want to say I fired, they fired themselves. But they have been let go and lost their livelihoods, like, due to fucking porn. And I say it from a I don't watch porn standpoint because I'm not really into porn like that. Like, for me to watch two people have sex, both people have to be extremely attractive. Other than that, it's just a bunch of fluid and ugliness and all that. Porn, sex is an activity, not necessarily entertainment for me personally. So I try to understand, like, okay, you know,
there's no need to understand that shit, bro.
Like, is it the entertainment value? Is it like, what is it?
Nah, it's nothing. It's nothing that should be watched at work. That's what it is. Like, it's just times and places for things. Like, you don't hold church at work. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
Like, it's just certain things that you just don't do at work. Like, it's a professional environment. Like, you don't do that unless you're in the fucking porn industry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not if you're at a fucking, you know, healthcare facility or, you know what I mean? Or fucking, I don't know, like a newspaper or some shit. You don't fucking be watching porn. Like, that shit doesn't pertain to, like, nah, bro. Like,
anything other than you work at Adam and Eve or.
Yeah, like, if it's not in a sex facility or some shit, then nah, you don't need to be watching. That shit is obscene. Like, it's perverse. And, you know what I mean? And then that shit should be in the comforts and privacy of your own wherever.
And then what do you do? And I mean, it's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nigga, I'm looking at my phone and, like, shouldn't be, and motherfuckers walk up on me and I could be watching whatever on Instagram and, like, I feel like, damn, nigga just saw me on my phone. I can imagine, like, having to close out a browser or some shit when the motherfuckers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I used to hide and sneak and watch, like, you know, March Madness and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
hey, shout out to when we used to Photoshop each other and send that shit all around the office.
Yeah. No, man, that shit
I have
weird.
to talk to niggas about that shit too.
There's no way in hell I could do that.
I'm just like, all right, so once you become aroused, what are you doing with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, men become visually aroused. Like, you're not a woman. Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah, where you gonna put the beat off at?
Or do you watch porn so much that it is kind of like watching fucking Snowfall?
Nah, your dick's gonna get hard. If you like, I mean, unless you just have issues, like, you know what I mean? Like,
unless you got the ED.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
You
like,
got ED, bro?
Nah. That's weird, man.
Yeah, so that shit is totally fucking weird. I don't even know how we fucking got to
let's
that.
just go to the list a little later. At this point, like, I don't even give a fuck about the rest of that shit. That was good. That was a nice.
No, because that was
shit.
one, and I definitely want to touch on this other issue. I want to touch on this because this is an issue that is something that I'm interested in, and I want to know your opinion on it. Do you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, or are you familiar with the characters because you've watched it before?
I mean, I know the ones from Atlanta. That's it.
Yes.
Just
okay, so you know Porsha.
Yeah.
Okay, Porsha used to be married to Cordell Stewart. When Porsha originally got on the show years ago, she was this prim and proper young housewife that just wanted to abide by her husband. And through, evolution, she has become like thotty yaddy yaddy, and all that shit. So Porsha, who is on the Real Housewives, is engaged and announced it on Instagram the other day. And the reason I want to talk about this because it has sparked a lot of memes and a lot of conversation. Porsha raised some eyebrows with the news that she was engaged to a man she met by way of her co-star, Fallon. So Fallon is like 31 years old. She was married to this millionaire who's worth $40 million named Simon Golbadia. He looks African. He's from Africa. I don't know exactly from where. And I don't know how he gets his money. But Porsha brought Fallon. So Porsha has been kind of highlighted on the show this season for kind of fucking the stripper Bolo, who allegedly has like a 12-inch dick. And also, she had a baby father who is like this hot dog guy here in Atlanta. I know who he is. I know him. And he owns a couple businesses here named Dennis. Weird looking little guy, you know what I'm saying? And he kind of like, okay. But Portia's kind of known for like moving fast and shit. But what makes this situation very interesting is because she brought Fallon on the show, as a guest of the show, and said that her and Fallon were friends. Well, Fallon and her 56-year-old millionaire husband filed for divorce in January. And on May 10th, I think it was yesterday, because today is the 11th in which we're recording, Porsha announced that they are engaged, which has raised a lot of fucking eyebrows. She says that the relationship began a month ago. They are crazy in love and they know it's fast, but they're living life to the fullest. And Porsha says that I choose happiness every morning and every night. All this bullshit, right? And Fallon has yet to say anything, but social media is basically roasting the fuck out of Porsha, about basically dating this guy that she was introduced to by her friend. So my question and the reason why I wanted to talk about this. So we've talked about situations in which, real friends have fucking crossed each other over and dated their significant others. Fucking Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx were fucking friends. And for whatever reason, Jamie Foxx decided to take fucking bland ass, what's homegirl name?
Penelope?
Not Penelope. You think about Penelope Cruz. Damn it! That's not her name though. But little weird ass white chick with no season. I didn't understand. Like, I fuck with Jamie Foxx. I didn't understand why he did that. Y'all know I'm team Jamie Foxx in the acting. But, we've talked about this. Like, the fact that Porsha was allegedly friends, whether it was for the show or not, do you feel like this is a violation of friend code or anything like that? Like, would that shit fly? Like, if it was like you and your homeboys or some shit like that?
Probably not.
They filed in January. They just met, Porsha just met Fallon and the husband in like November. Then they filed for divorce in January. Porsha is married to or engaged to him in May.
I mean, that's a wild chain of events.
Exactly.
Clearly. They probably knew each other before that, is what I'm thinking. But
you thinking Porsha and the guy knew each other before that?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It kind of sounds slimy, right?
Yeah, that's
like she kind of used.
Yeah, it's too quick.
Yeah. How long do you think is a good? We just talked about Bill and Melinda Gates. I don't think we said that was lit or shit, but we just talked about Bill and Melinda Gates. How long do you think is a respectable time? And this is from other people's opinion, from the outside looking in. What do you feel like is a respectable amount of time to either completely move on or get engaged, like after a divorce? Like, we ain't talking about y'all was dating and broke up.
That's a good question. I mean, I guess it's whenever you know, I mean, I don't know. It depends on what type of relationship you had. You know what I'm saying? If you was in a long relationship for a long time, then, or it also depends how far removed you were from the relationship. Like, you could have been in a relationship, 20 some years, but the past 5 years where you were completely miserable or some shit. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
like you had already checked out, so you know all you needed. Like my homeboy, one time from one of my homeboys, he just recently got divorced, but they've been separated for a while long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he been doing this thing for a mad long. You know what I'm saying? Like but he just finally filed the papers and got it officially done or whatnot. So and if he would have jumped into another relationship or marriage, then I wouldn't I wouldn't question
they had
about
a long
it, obviously,
separation.
Yeah, it just depends on, how long each relationship is different, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
it comes with a lot of nuance, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of depends, but I guess whenever you're ready, you know what I'm saying?
There was reports that J-Lo spent the weekend with fucking Ben Affleck. One thing about J-Lo, this bitch ain't gonna go to sleep alone. J-Lo gonna never have a cold other side of the bed.
Lonely issues.
Yeah, like at a certain point in time, it's weird to me. Like it's weird when you just can't be alone, and I know women like that. Yeah, I'm not saying like you gotta.
Shit, I know mad niggas like that.
Yeah, that's true. But I think the difference between the men and women that I personally know is these niggas won't shit in the first place. They had multiple relationships going on at the same time. This bitch dedicated her life to this relationship. And then once they broke up, she had another nigga like within a month or so. Like you in the I just feel like relationships if done in a decent way. If you tried and, y'all had this relationship and it was good, I feel like relationships can take a lot out of you. And I just can't imagine hopping from one committed relationship to another committed relationship, like back to back to back to back. That shit seems exhausting to me.
Right.
Were you ever like that? Did you ever go like from relationship, like full-fledged relationship? I ain't talking about fucking bitches or whatever. Like relationship to relationship. What's the longest that you were technically single in your life?
A couple years, I guess. I don't know.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. It's been so long. I can't even fucking remember.
You like single? Oh, what is that? Nah, I feel you though. Like I've been single 4 years.
Nice.
And, it's kind of one of them, like, I get pushed back and ridiculed and shit like that off some, like, I just want to be in the streets. And I don't feel like it's that way, but I'm not about to force some shit that ain't that. Like, I'm not about to commit to something that I feel, has, everything ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? Like a relationship, everybody ain't relationship material. You know what I'm saying? And again, I already, said some shit. I'm like, all right, cool. I deal with that. But it's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying nothing that ain't nobody heard from me before. Like, I fuck with you, but I might not be willing to commit to you. I feel like you gotta respect that.
Yeah, I mean,
that don't mean you're a horrible person. That don't mean you're not good relationship material, but it's a 1-to-1. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be good for me and I gotta be good for you. And I gotta be willing to put up with your shit, your good and your bad, and you gotta be willing to put up with my good and my bad. And if we don't feel that for each other, then why make it complicated?
Facts.
But this is the Ain't Shit show, and I get told I ain't shit, so I'll just, move along with that one though. But, it's, I feel like it's a lot, and I definitely feel like there had to be some overlap, my nigga. Like, ain't no way you engaged in May, and you were divorced in January, and you talking about y'all met, y'all got cool in that way a month ago. I call bullshit.
Yeah.
I call bullshit. Have all your relationships that ended badly, of course, outside of your current relationship, which is your wife?
Nah, I ain't had no bad relationships.
You ain't had no bad breakups?
Nah, I'm a cool nigga. And most of the people that I like, all the people that I've involved myself with are cool. So.
What were the high level reasons y'all broke up? Cause I be trying to explain this to people that all relationships don't end badly. Sometimes y'all just grow apart or y'all realize that shit ain't working. That don't mean I hate you. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean anybody cheating.
I mean, there's various reasons we just weren't equally yoked. I was in a different place. I didn't, I was at one point or another, I was too, tied down and I didn't feel like being in that relationship anymore. You know what I mean? It's just kind of it was really me for the most part. I found somebody else that I like more and I ain't want to cheat.
Okay. That's respectable. So how does a conversation like that go? Do you kick it I just want to end this, things ain't working out, or do you just I found somebody else? So the fact that 2 weeks later,
I don't do that.
See you with somebody else, she be like, oh, this the motherfucker you found.
I mean, from what I remember, no, I just was this shit ain't working out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I might, slip and do some shit that I don't want to do and I don't want to hurt you. So to avoid that, I'd rather just end this.
Yes. See, that's the conversation I try to have. Not in a relationship, but just in general. I wouldn't want to commit to you and hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Why do that? Why set that situation up? So, and I'm the type of person, I believe in, karma and shit like that. So, especially the older I get, I understand how the universe works and how shit tie back around and, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. So, it's just always interesting. But, I am friends with, numerous individuals that I've dated. Cause it ain't gotta be bad. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be bad. And I just kind of feel like there was something about you that I liked. Cause anybody that, you know what I'm saying, I fuck with heavy, I kind of feel like I fuck with you because we also, if we fuck with each other that heavy, it's cause we cool people as well. Anybody that I'm gonna be with seriously, you gotta be my friend as well. I gotta want to hang out with you outside of us having to be together or having to hang out or outside of sex and shit like that. So, it's very interesting, but fucking with have you ever been tempted to fuck with somebody's significant other that was in your squad? Even maybe they came on to you.
Not if they not tempted. I've been propositioned and that shit was trash. That shit was whack as fuck. Shit. Cause it was one of my niggas, one of my brothers who I consider, you know what I'm saying? And that shit was whack. So, nah. And that's one of the people that's the dude that got divorced to the girl, thankfully.
Shit.
Yeah.
Right.
But, that shit was super wild scenario. That shit was so trash. This shit was so trash. But, I mean, I don't, if it's a nigga broad type shit, I ain't doing no shit like that. If they was in a relationship, but if a nigga just, hit a bitch or whatever, some shit, then that's bro code. She for the streets. Fuck that shit. Especially if she at me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit her type shit. But if it's your girl or some shit or your baby mom or, some shit like that, nah, I ain't.
Some off-limit shit.
Even, but I mean, shit, if it's your baby mom, if she was a jump and you just had some bullshit happen and she your baby mom, that shit is, I can depending on what scenario it is, like, I can see that happening, but like, nah, more times than not, I'm good.
Listen, you already know how I feel. If I fuck with somebody, none of my friends can fuck with them. Period. Period. Like, it's enough out here. I just feel like it's enough out here for us not to overlap. However, I have been in situations where, you know, I think you used a good word, proposition, where I have been propositioned, and some of those times I've informed someone. I mean, it probably happened like 2 or 3 times, like nothing crazy, but I've informed, like, one of those times I informed the individual because I felt like they were good people, and like, one was like a friend, 2 were kind of like cool people, like we hang out and shit like that. I wouldn't necessarily call them friend, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they were at a position where, you know what I'm saying, they people should have been like off limits or whatever the case may be. One time I told the person, the other 2 times I didn't tell because I know what that person was out here doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you out here fucking shit up. And you ain't really like my friend, but you gotta learn on your own, like, about what you fucking with out here. So I didn't say something like twice, but one time I did, and they stayed together. So, you know what I mean? They stayed together. So I was just like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? You know what the fuck you dealing with. Once when I told that person about it, to be completely honest, at first they tried to flip the shit. I'm just like, not on God's green earth will we be dating the same caliber. You crazy out your head. I would never want this person. Like, tried to flip it like I tried to holler at them. Like, no, we ain't even shooting at the same basket. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I would never date this person. Like, they not my caliber. Like, I would never. Box body? No, I'm not doing that. You crazy? No, I'm not doing that. But, you know, I just think that is crazy that, you know, Porsha would do something like that. But I also believe that a lot of shit is for TV. Cause obviously everybody got different tastes. Everybody got different tastes. But in my opinion, the guy's not attractive. He got $40 million. That's what he got. Do you think 31 and 56 is like a crazy age difference? That's how old Fallon and this guy was. I think Porsha's more so along the 40 line, like 39, 40, 41.
Man, yeah, that's a good little gap.
Yeah. Is it okay? Is it socially acceptable for rich men to collect trophies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it's been happening, so. I
just be wondering why they be marrying them, though.
Ain't no telling.
Like, why you marry these women?
I don't know.
Because you can still have your fucking, you know what I mean? You can get the cow in the milk. You got $40 million.
Right.
She gonna stay. She ain't going nowhere. And if she do go, you can go pick up another 30-year-old. Right. Like, it's new 30-year-olds being produced every day, B. Like somebody turning 30 every day. Like, so you can get you one of those 31-year-olds. To me, I feel like 30, even though there is some like weird shit going on, I feel like 30 is the age in which I consider almost everybody an adult, right? Like an adult, whereas if you dating a fucking 40-year-old, 50-year-old, like a 60-year-old, 70-year-old, like at least let them be 30.
Right.
Is there an age where you just like, okay, everybody's like on limits for anybody over that age? Or like,
I mean, 30, yeah, 30 sound good.
Yeah, 30 sound good to me too. So Porsha out here being skeevy and scammy and slimy, because I feel like that's fucked up. Is leadership?
If it ain't her friend, then, you know, it's lit, I guess, but I don't know.
Hey, so when Porsha first, this is on the show, so we don't know how real that is, but she said that was the first time they met. She met Fallon, they went over to Fallon's house, and she met Fallon's husband. That was the first time they hung out with each other and shit like that. So I get it that they might not be like friends, but at the end of the day, at the very least, she your coworker. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, people got different morals, but I say that is shit. I did say that after COVID, I'm gonna stop thinking so much about other motherfuckers' feelings and do what the fuck I want to do too. I did say that though. That was a declaration that I made, cause I feel like I be thinking about shit motherfuckers ain't considering. So, you know, maybe I got too many morals. Like, I'm fucking missing out. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a midlife crisis. I don't know. But I definitely say, like, you know what? I'm about to do some shit I wouldn't normally do post-COVID. Like, I'm gonna just do it. And I ain't gonna do no shit that's detrimental to my life. Don't get it twisted. But I might take some chances that I wouldn't normally take.
Nice.
What I'm saying. Cole got a deal to play basketball in Africa.
Yeah, I'm cool on that.
The Rwanda Patriots. They say he's supposed to play like 3 to 6 games. What you think about that shit?
I don't think anything about it. Go do your thing. Enjoy yourself, my boy.
What do you think you're doing it for?
Just drop the album on Friday. That's all I give a fuck about.
Yeah, he do got an album coming. I heard Kendrick got an album coming too. Who you anticipate more, Kendrick or Cole?
Well, Kendrick's will be here Fridays. I mean, Cole's will be here Friday, so yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I like Kendrick and Cole, but if I'm talking about listening to an album, it's definitely Cole. Cole is my nigga. I was just wondering why he was going over there. Like, I get it. Like, again, when we talk about money at a certain point in time, you just trying to achieve like accolades and shit like that. So you want to be able to say J. Cole, rapper, played professional basketball, I guess. Cause, you know, J. Cole was a basketball player in like college and shit like that.
Not in college, but yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he walk on?
Nah.
Oh, I read somewhere that he walked on.
He walked on. He didn't make the team though.
Okay, maybe that's okay. Then that makes sense. All right. Well, you ready to get into some letters or letter? We're about to get Ain't Shit in 2 Cents. Ain't Shit in 2 Cents is our listener letter segment where we give advice to individuals who clearly don't care about taking advice from, you know, people who drink and smoke and do all of those fun things to give y'all insight. Today's letter is from Lacey. And Lacey kind of has a list of questions for us, B, that kind of we touched on a little bit earlier, but I think we can give a little bit more insight. I didn't even mean to go that far into the conversation earlier because I knew what the letter was about. But Lacey's letter says, or email says, since everyone is moving around like the pandemic is over, I wanted to know, have y'all did anything in the past month or two that you didn't do during the height of the pandemic? It's a couple questions here, so I'm going to read them all off and then we'll go back and answer them one at a time. She says, when do you plan to start moving about in normal life? Have you changed your mind on the vaccine? What is the first thing you're going to do in a COVID-free world? And her last question is there something you did during the pandemic that you will take into the COVID-free world? Then she says, if you would like to know about me, I am slowly easing back into the world as we know it. It feels very weird. I heard Fresh talking about it on the last show, and I felt the same anxiety about vaccinated people being too close to me. I still don't know what the circumstances are around vaccinations, and if they are, can they spread it? Are they automatically immune? I don't know enough. I'm interested to know if y'all feel some of my same concerns or if I am tripping. And that is, and Lacey says, love the Ain't Shit show. And that's from Lacey R. So Lacey's first question, B, is, have you done anything in the past month or two you didn't do during the height of the pandemic?
Thanks for listening first off, Lacey. And appreciate your listenership, I guess.
Appreciate
it. Yeah, I've been traveling more. I mean, I didn't do that for a whole year. So, I went to Florida in March, took my kids to Florida. I went to Savannah for my birthday in April, and, I'm going to Puerto Rico next in a day or two. So, 2 days. So yeah, I'm definitely doing that, getting on airplanes, moving about, you know what I mean? So I definitely was, at the house for an entire year. So, something I'm certainly doing, getting back out there. I wasn't as, my wife was really reclusive. She wasn't really fucking with nothing. Like, she really wasn't trying to go to no parties or, like anybody's house and none of that shit. Had nobody come to the crib. So, she's still on no crib shit, but, she's lightened up in terms of like moving about and,
has she been seeing like her friends at all, or it's just all been virtual?
She don't really have very many friends here. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to a rooftop for drinks last weekend. That is literally my first time doing anything in Atlanta since March of 2020. And, you know, we were sectioned off. It was some pretty good, like, social distancing and shit like that. But the rooftop, you had to get on, like an elevator and shit. And there was a couple more people than I would have liked on, like, that elevator. But then we were, like, tucked in the table, like, kind of over in the corner. Because, you know, Atlanta ain't never stopped jumping. I've had people contact me throughout the entire pandemic, like, oh, I'm in town. I'm like, cool, have fun. You know what I mean? Like, I won't be with you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, this was the first kind of like guest that I entertained outside of, that's not from here, outside of like their hotel room or my apartment that's from out of town. So, it was interesting for me. But, you know, I still can't really see myself in some of these more packed spots where people are on top of each other and shit like that. And, you know, some people had masks, some people didn't, you know, I guess it, you know, you kind of have, what makes it weird is because now you have like the vaccinated people and the anti-maskers blending in together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of makes it weird. Where, you know what I'm saying, I feel like everybody need to wear like a bracelet or some shit. Let me know your status. Let me know your status. Like something. Let me know what you got going on. The next question is, when do you plan to start moving about in normal life, and whatever normal life means for you, B?
I don't know. I mean, I'm moving about now. I'm keeping my mask on for a good, you know, a large amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really with the whole, you know, unmasked shit. I mean, maybe outside and shit, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm outside, I definitely, like, over the weekend, I was outside playing cornhole and shit with my people. I didn't have my mask on the entire time, I'll be honest. But, like, you know, but I had my shit, and then once we got in the garage and was listening to the shit, like, you know, I had my mask on, and, you know, I was just, whatever. I'm so used to wearing it, so it's not really.
It's not an inconvenience anymore, which makes it crazy. Cause I was the same way. I went to my brother's house, and, you know, he had people in like over his house, like in his garage and shit. And it wasn't that many of us, but still I put my shit on, like, better, you know what I mean? On some better safety.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's no sense to y'all. Like, I mean, it's a fucking pandemic, and I don't, you know, and people was wearing their masks and shit. So
and I'm still not sharing blunts. Like, I'm still not sharing J's. I'm still not doing that.
Yeah, I smoked all my shit and passed it. Like,
you know, that's what I'll do. Like,
then I got drunk and then I hit it and I was tripping.
And then you're like, damn it.
Fucking, you get uninhibited when that fucking libations
get
moving.
Listen, I've definitely had COVID for 24 hours after I realized I did some shit that I shouldn't have.
Nigga,
I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
I was with all my people over the past weekend and shit, and I'm like, man, and like 2 of them niggas had COVID, so they good. Like, they had COVID within like the past 90 days, so they still got the antibodies. And then like 2 of my homegirls was fucking vaccinated and shit. And like you said, alluding to the other question, I don't really know how the fucking shit spreads and all that. Mm-hmm. So like, and then, you know, like I had to take a COVID test to go to Puerto Rico. So I'm like super nervous. Like, and then like the weather been cold as fuck, unseasonably cold. So like my allergies and shit been kicking up. So I was, man, like today I took my COVID test and it was like an AIDS test a little bit, like fuck, you know what I mean? Like I ain't know.
That's how I was before Jamaica. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know. And you could be asymptomatic. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just like, my cousin called me the weekend before I was supposed to go to Jamaica for his birthday. He was in Atlanta. I told that nigga, like, I love you, but I'm not risking my trip for you. Have a happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gave me his rundown of what they was gonna do. I'm definitely not hanging out with y'all niggas. And then I hit that same cousin like about a week ago or something. And he was like, yo, cuz, you remember what you told me when I talked to you? I was like, what did I tell you? He was like, don't go out there and act a fool. He was just like, so I went out there and act a fool, and I was doing bad. He said he did his COVID test. It came back negative, but he is very certain that he caught COVID that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt bad. I ain't never felt nothing like that. Whatever. Like, and I was like, see, like, you're going to like packed establishment. When I told him, like, cuzzo, love you. Y'all have a good time. I paid for this trip. I'm not risking it for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not risking it. He was like, come on, cuz. Like, come on. That shit. Man, we gonna die one day. And look, this nigga like, man, I thought I had it. I ain't know what to do, like scared. And with a negative COVID test, you know what I'm saying? Still scared.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas get to talking until what? Shit get real.
Yeah.
Shit get real. He like, yeah, I don't care what they say. I know I had COVID. Like, I said, did you go take another test? He talking about no. I was like, why wouldn't you go take another test? Like, you could have got a false negative, but yeah. The next, did I answer the question? When do I plan to start moving into normal life? My plan to move into normal life is, you know, as I feel comfortable. I don't really have a timeline, kind of like with B Hill. Like, I'm gonna still wear my mask, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna protect myself as much as possible. I'm still filling myself with all of these fucking vitamins every single day. And, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that my immune system is good. If I come in contact with something, you know, whatever. But I will also say, like, I ain't had no colds or no other bullshit that usually happens, you know, around this time. So, yep. Normal life for me, I'll move as I see fit. I honestly don't see like complete normal life by the end of summer, but I do foresee myself, kind of moving into more outdoor activities. I can't say that. It's about to be hot. Like, I know I'm not about to be in this house for another fucking summer. I already know that. Have you changed your mind about the vaccine, B?
I have thought about it. I've thought about it more often than I haven't. And I'll say that. Like, I was vehemently against it. Not that I've gotten it. I thought about actually getting like the first vaccine like last week, and so I can like maybe possibly like, you know, prevent some any type of shit since I'm about to go out of town. But no, I've thought about it more. I will say that I have thought about it. But at this point, no, I'm gonna hold tight.
Yeah, I'm still kind of in the same place. My hopes is that enough people become vaccinated that protects me a little bit. So my mind hasn't really changed about it. Now, I have had conversations like, if it becomes to a point where this gonna kind of be the past, kind of like your ID, like you gonna need to show, you know what I'm saying, that you've been vaccinated to do certain things like travel or shit like that. Like, I may reconsider, but at this point in time, it's still a firm no for me. But I definitely encourage y'all to do it for selfish fucking
They saying the numbers are slowing, like, so we may not reach herd immunity because people not getting vaccinated enough.
Well, we gonna see. I mean, you know, I feel like I can speak for B as well with this. Like, we'll make decisions based on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what we don't want, but we understand that life makes it so that you have to pivot and fucking take a fucking chance too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my current goal is to not get that vaccine, and the fact that it's gonna be like a flu shot where you gotta get that shit every year anyway. Right. And that's gonna be some bullshit too. Right. If it's something you gotta take every year and you don't know when the person took their vaccine last, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, shit whack.
It is a vaccine a guaranteed 365 days? You know what I'm saying? Or like, what exactly does that mean? So I just need to see more. And then the last question is, what is something the first thing that you're going to do in a COVID-free world?
Shit, I don't even know. To be told, I don't even, that shit seems so distant. I want to go to a concert. Yeah, that'd be dope.
I gotta get to a concert. I gotta get to some live music, like stadium, like live music.
I mean, they starting to have shows now, like they did, like they had a comedy show at the RBC Center and shit. It was spread out, obviously, but I would have had my mask on in there for the most part. So, I mean, I'll do that. Like, I'll do that now. You know what I'm saying? I just keep my mask on. Like, if I got my mask, I'm straight. Like, if I got me some Sandy and a mask, shit, I'll pretty much do anything at this point. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm gonna keep my mask on. That's a fact. Like, I'm, you know, outside of, you know, drinking this, because I mean, shit, I went to the Hornets game a couple weeks ago, and you gotta have your mask. You know what I'm saying? So that was in the stadium.
Oh, I know you been going to games and shit. So you out here? You going to a game? Was it packed?
Nah, hell no. It's COVID.
Oh, okay. I mean, some stadiums are 100%.
Well, nah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody.
Shit, like, they have select seats that you can purchase, and you can't purchase up more than 4 seats and shit. So, like, and it's stupid. It's really fucking, the way they do certain things, cause like the way we sat like right, I guess like it was really good seats. It was under the basket, but not under the basket directly, but like, you know, the floor is here, and then you got probably like 6 or 7 seats back. So we were like the first row of seats that you could sit that weren't blocked off. And, it was weird because 2 rows like behind us, you could have drinks and eat at your seat. But where we were sitting, you couldn't have drinks. Mind you, nobody's nowhere remotely close to us, like the players and all that shit. And like
y'all
nobody
was close. Y'all couldn't eat or drink.
Nah, you had to go to a designated section. Like that shit was stupid as fuck. But you could drink and shit in the hall, or you could drink 2 rows back from where we were sitting, which, you know, like I don't know how, I'm pretty sure, I'm no epidemiologist or no shit like that, but I'm pretty sure like the 2 rows, that shit was stupid. I didn't get it. But yeah, I went to a Charlotte game. I went to the Hornets game probably, I guess, maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know you went to that. I mean, that's a good introductory experience, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it won't pack, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had my mask on the whole time, you know, outside, obviously riding in the car with my people and shit. But yeah, we was out in Charlotte. Charlotte was dead as fuck, though. Like, it was weird because, like, Raleigh's way more popping like, downtown Charlotte was dead as fuck.
During COVID, than Charlotte.
Like, Glenwood South like, Glenwood South is fucking nuts. I don't go there because that shit be.
I feel like Charlotte kind of came to a halt a little bit.
They took all the bars out of the epicenter. So that's one reason that the shit ain't jumping.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been to the epicenter in a minute. I just hit that pin. Why they take the bars out the epicenter?
I mean, I guess because people were partying too much. I don't know.
I thought that was the point. Got it.
I mean, but it's COVID, so I guess
Charlotte got to have a new draw. Charlotte had all these events that Charlotte was having, CIAA and all that. That was getting Charlotte on the path of being, you know, the next Atlanta. And I kind of feel like after the announcements were made and shit like that, but the COVID did come in too. I'm interested to see if Charlotte goes back to its pace.
Yeah, Charlotte, the Queen City. That shit got, I mean, it's got football and basketball, so. And then it's just an incredibly dope city, so that shit ain't, you know, that shit will definitely rebound for sure.
Yeah, that.
I mean, it was jumping, it jumps. It was still, I mean, it won't jump when we was there, but I mean, it still jumps, you know what I'm saying? The epicenter, they just removed all the bars, so obviously nobody's gonna go there.
What is something that you did during the pandemic that you will take into the COVID-free world?
Wear my mask. I'm gonna be wearing my mask for mad long.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely on planes. I'm never not riding in the plane on a mask without a mask.
Yeah. Hey, that makes sense. My thing was hand sanitizer.
Yeah, like, I was doing that shit before.
Listen, I've washed, if you don't come out of this pandemic a cleaner person, I don't care how clean you were before. Like, if you don't come out even cleaner, like, something
my
wrong
hands,
with you.
my hands be dry from all the hand washing I be doing. Like, I be having to, like, strap up with lotion and shit because my shit be so fucking, I wash my hands so much.
So one of the things that I noticed that like since COVID, like ever since COVID, I've stayed away from, so like I'll sleep with my hands on my face, like sleep, you know what I mean? Like you sleep in your hand. And I noticed that, okay, so since COVID, I stopped doing that. Like, I just became afraid of my hands pretty much, you know what I'm saying, on myself and on my face during COVID. So I kind of trained myself that way. And I noticed, so my hands, I think my hands are like more oily because they don't get dry very fast. And I wash my shits all the time. Like I'm hand sanitizing, like all that shit. But I think my hands was breaking out my face when I slept. So my face has been a lot clearer since COVID, and I'm blaming it on I'm contributing it to the fact that I no longer put my hands on my face when I'm sleeping. So I don't know if that's true or false, guys, but try it. Let me know if it works. That was all the questions from Lacey R. Thank you, Lacey. Anything else you want to say to Lacey?
Nah.
Thank you for listening, Lacey, and we appreciate you. We ready to wrap this show up with some free smoke?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Free Smoke is our segment where we talk about hot button issues, personal topics. It can be anything from politics to petty. So, there was competition going on with Verzuz, and B Hill and I have been talking about this subject. But you know, sometimes we like to give our list and compare and contrast. And today is hip hop top 5, and we have a couple different categories in which we want to talk about our top 5. So B, I'll actually let you start it off with the category you want us to start off with.
We can just do cruise, I guess.
Okay. All right. So hip hop cruise. You want to go? Or you want me to go?
I'll start it off, I guess.
Okay.
I got top 5, cruise. I put Cash Money. And are we ranking them in particular orders or just 5?
I had mine ranked in order, but I struggle with that, so they don't necessarily have to be in order. If we decide they don't have to be in order.
Yeah.
So if they're not in order, all right, bet. Okay,
yeah,
so what do you got?
I say Cash Money. I said Cash Money, The Rock, Wu-Tang, Dungeon Family, and No Limit.
All right, Dungeon Family, No Limit. And who's I have 4. Cash Money, The Rock, Dungeon Family, No Limit.
Wu-Tang.
Who's your 5th one? Wu-Tang. Who is your number 1 and kind of why? Or who you feel like ranks
Probably go
more
with Cash Money first.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And why?
I mean, shit, just from the umbrella and the reign that they had, they reigned from literally 99 to probably 2000. Well, I mean, if you count Drake and Mickey, which you can, because you have to, because essentially they're assigned to.
Okay.
They're under their imprint. They reigned from 99 to fucking
current.
I mean, currently, yeah.
So I didn't have Cash Money, but I definitely have Young Money. Cash Money was definitely a good fucking 90s fucking hip hop crew, but I feel like Young Money was a more successful crew or imprint than Cash Money because of the stars that came out of that. Like you got Wayne, Nicki, and Drake, which easily.
Well, Wayne is Cash Money though.
Okay, but Wayne ran Young Money.
Right.
So that's
but
why
he's a product
I
of
have.
Cash Money though.
Okay, so if we take away Wayne and put him with Cash Money, I don't know if Young Money ranks as high for my list. So here's my list. My list is Rockefeller, Young Money, Murder Inc., Rough Riders, and QC.
QC's a good one. That's a good
one. And the reason
it.
QC made my list is because QC, when I think of rap crews, QC is the only rap crew that I really think about that is like current, new school, like kind of rap crew.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of hold each other. Yeah, true. TDE. You're right about that. TDE. But I feel like TDE has Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? And then they have, like J-Rock and, what's my boy name?
Let's not forget
they have SZA. But I still feel like none of those people outside of Kendrick that you're going to name is a bigger star than Lil Baby, City Girls, Yachty, or Migos.
SZA's definitely a bigger star than them.
I definitely don't agree.
I
definitely feel like if you went and asked somebody, do they know Lil Baby, City Girls, Yachty, or Migos, they will definitely know any one of them groups before they know who SZA is. If you go ask somebody who's not a hip hop person.
I don't agree with that, but that's fine.
So like with SZA, what do you think makes SZA such a huge star?
She's got number ones. Like,
how many number ones you think SZA got?
I don't know. Just Control went like 2 or 3 platinum, and then all the new shit that she just been recently dropping has been like number 1.
So you feel like brand recognition would be the same with that?
For sure.
You think SZA is on the brand recognition level of Lil Baby, City Girls, Yachty, and Migos?
Absolutely.
I also included QC because Coach K, and he is a St. Aug alumni. And
yeah, I fuck with
that. I fuck with that very, very, very fucking heavy. But I feel like out of all the crews, I feel like Rockefeller, and cause it's Hov, but I feel like Rockefeller had the longest kind of reign because it kind of morphed itself into other different shit that was still like Rockefeller. And like niggas are still fucking trying to get rock chains and shit.
I mean, that's the same with Cash Money though. Like, I mean, if you put it on those.
Is people really trying to get Cash Money chains?
I mean, not necessarily chains per se, but like
baby like
their reign has extended from, I mean, if you're using that same logic that Rockefeller is transcended into like Rock Nation and shit, Cash Money transcended into Young Money. You know what I mean?
But I feel like
Young Money was signed to Cash Money.
Young Money was signed to Cash Money, but I feel like Wayne separated himself from Baby.
Yeah, I mean, over contract.
Like where
speech,
they weren't a cohesive group.
I mean, but
Dame
Rockefeller split in
Dash
half.
and right, that's what I'm saying. But Jay kept the imprint going. It's not like it's Rockefeller versus Dame Dash recordings or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
But it
the
was
case
Rock
may be.
Nation. So like, just like
Right.
Cash Money and Young Money. So like Rockefeller, Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like Jay owned the imprint. So it wasn't nothing to compare. Whereas we're kind of comparing two separate dynasties where we're talking about there's nothing for fucking, Dame Dash to compare. Like Rock is still a thing. Like we can debate, like we can sit here and have a debate right now. What's better, Young Money or Cash Money? We can have that debate. We're not about to have a debate about Rockefeller because Rockefeller always been the same shit.
I mean, you can because Rockefeller hasn't put out outside of J. Cole. Rock Nation, like who have they put out besides Jay?
But Rock Nation morphed into other things.
A management company, right? That's not even a record label.
The management, sports, like all of that shit.
But it's not a record
where
label.
Where people have an affiliation where they like to rep they fucking Rock Nation. That's why I still consider it like a crew almost. Cause niggas want to rep that shit.
I mean, I get it. Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was my thinking. And, you know, Cash Money, I mean, Rockefeller had movies, like all that shit, like even classics, like fucking Paid in Full, like all that shit. And they got the best record alive. It was still under the Rockefeller imprint though. That's all I'm saying. Paid in Full was under Rockefeller.
I guess.
I mean, I don't know what the beef
Studios,
was.
I think, but.
No, it was under Rockefeller. I did my research so I can make sure that I knew the assignment. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I knew the assignment. But I want to give, honorable mention to Good Music. Good Music had a great roster and people still put out music, but not really as good music. You got fucking Kanye, Big Sean, Tiana Taylor, Travis Scott, John Legend. Like, if Kanye would have had his 1-2 thing together properly, I feel like they could have been like a dynasty right now. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like Good Music had the bones to become a dynasty?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So next category I want to go with is, hip hop collaborative albums. And my 5 are, it is very Hove heavy. I just want to say that. It is Watch the Thrones, Best of Both Worlds, The Chronic.
The Chronic was a good one.
Everything is Love, which is the J&B joint. And What a Time to Be Alive by Future and Drake.
I never listened to that album, but yeah, that's good. That's solid. I would I got Watch the Throne, like Father Like Son. I got The Carters. I got Webby and Boosie Gangsta Music. And
I've never heard that album.
Yeah, it's
what was
old.
The single off of that? What was the hit off of that?
Swerve Right. That's that. What else that came? What came on that shit? Tell Me What You Know About Me. WEBBIE.
Did I know about a Webby spelling song outside of Independent?
You probably
I don't think I knew Webby was spelling before that.
Tell Me What You Know About Me. That shit. Oh, you stay in Atlanta. You had to have heard that in the club.
I mean, I can't say that I never heard it, but it's just not ringing a bell. You know how sometimes you hear some shit like, oh, I forgot like that.
Trillion, he was spelling way before everything. That shit was fire.
Hey, I just want to say that I think Webby is the funniest person ever. And, even though y'all know I don't like Boosie, Period is my shit. I like that song. That's a good ass song with Boosie and, Lil Baby. I mean, Da Baby.
Yep.
I fuck with that song. I ain't gonna even front. I ain't gonna even hold you.
Yeah, what Boosie got mad shit. Boosie dope.
I heard Boosie shit. It don't pull me, but I definitely like that fucking song. That shit go. That shit goes.
He was actually here this past week, and I was gonna go, but I didn't because it's COVID.
And you gotta understand that the crowd that's going to see Boosie don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, and it was in Durham for sure. But I heard it went off without a hitch and everything. I heard shit was a dope show. My cousin went. I was gonna go with my cousin, but I decided not to. And I got Freddie Gibbs and Madlib Pinata. It was a dope project. So,
my honorable mention is We Are Young Money.
I guess that would count.
That's the one with Nicki, Drake.
I mean, if that's the case, like, I would have put like State Property or some shit. But
yeah, you could have put that.
Yeah, I put State Property. I put State Property, Chain Gang.
Cause I had Rock La Familia. I like Rock La Familia.
That was a good album.
But
The Dynasty was a collaborative album.
Yep, The Dynasty was a great album, a collaborative album. Yeah, as well. So yeah, all of that would have been a go. What's your next category?
We can do freshest.
Ooh, interesting. Go ahead. What do you have?
I got Grand Poobah. I got Nas. I got Jim Jones. I got Ross. And I put Fab in. Fab been bullshitting. Like, he been wearing a lot of weird shit lately. But, like, early on
wait,
Fab,
you said Rick Ross, Grand Poobah.
Grand Poobah was the freshest nigga ever. Like, he was. Like,
okay, and who else?
Nas, Jim Jones, and Fab.
Jim Jones and Fab. This is an interesting list. Okay, give us some insight on how you pick Rick Ross. How did Rick Ross
get busy? List? Ross be fly. Like Ross get fresh. Like I like the way Ross, even for a fat nigga, like that nigga he get busy. He put his shit together. Like he get his suits game, his elegance, if you will. I like everything. Ross get busy. He can dress. Like, I remember.
Yeah, I don't think Ross is trash at all. I definitely like some things that he put together. He just still don't pop in my mind when I've been, ooh, who's a fresh nigga? But to be completely honest, I don't have I couldn't think of a lot of currently fresh niggas for real.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's niggas who dress, but not where it stands out. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like that nigga be dressing like.
I mean, I think a Lil Baby get fresh too for the young niggas. Like Lil Baby be fresh. I fuck with Lil Baby. He get busy.
What did he wearing? Like I always, when I think of Lil Baby, I think of like a t-shirt, like a plain white tee and some jeans.
Do you follow him?
No, I don't follow him. That's what I'm
it.
saying. Like, so I don't follow
Lil Baby get busy. He get fresh. Like,
what did he wearing?
Dope shit. What? I mean, all type of shit. Like, just dope shit. I can't really, label it. I mean, he got millions of dollars, so he wears what he wants, but he put it together.
A lot of niggas got millions of dollars. Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'll go to Lil Baby page.
Yeah, just go to his page.
And see, cause he always be dressed pretty basic. Like, he don't ever look like trash or nothing like that. That's not what I'm saying. But he don't be seeming like a superlative. So I need to.
Nah, he get busy. I fuck with Lil Baby. He get busy. Like, out of the young niggas and shit, I fuck with him.
Grand Poobah. Did you have this insight before you watched that video that you sent me? Would you have thought of Grand Poobah prior to that?
Absolutely. Grand Poobah had one of the hardest outfits that I've always wanted.
He's the reason that I had
Carmines.
I don't even remember how Grand Poobah dressed.
He used to have, he had this Tommy, he had the Carmines, and I remember it was, Don't Let It Go to Your Head. That shit, he had the red Carmines, and he had this fucking red Tommy jacket, and these fucking Guess jeans in like 90, when did the Carmines come out? I was in 4th grade, I think. So, whatever. So, I guess it's like, maybe 93, 92. And that was the hardest fucking outfit I've ever seen in my life. And to that point, that's what made me really that's one, made me want them Carmines. And 2, my homeboy had them shits. And then my mom got me the maroon 6s instead of the Carmines. Love the maroon 6s, but I wanted them Carmines to the point where that's one of my favorite sneakers of all time. So because of that, he was the first nigga with the Tommy. He was the first nigga with the polo. I'm a big polo guy, and Grand Poobah, I always love Grand Poobah, how the way he used to get fresh. He used to have an afro and shit. Like, I used to fuck with the afro and shit, and he used to have the taper. Fuck with Grand Poobah tough. You know what I mean? So,
outside of us, the 411 video, I couldn't tell you nothing. I couldn't even tell you where I seen Grand Poobah. Like, I know he had a little moment. I just can't remember shit that would have made him so iconic for that short amount of time. And I looked at I watched the Jim Jones shit that you sent me or whatever, and I thought, that shit was very interesting if you knew, but Grand Poopa wasn't on my radar as far as dress.
And they was
who was you giving your number 1 to out your list?
I give it a Jim. I definitely give it a Jim. Well, no, I give it it's a tie between Nas and Jim for me, because Nas get busy. Like, he's always got busy. Like, I remember the red light, and it was, even when I say get busy, like some of the shit I wouldn't necessarily wear, but I remember like him wearing the fucking red leather shit when he performed Hate Me Now on the MTV Awards. That shit was fucking retarded. He had the fly ass mink and shit when he was in the actual video with Puff. He had the white shit with the white hat and shit. That nigga Nas is just like the freshest nigga. Even with the Willie Esco, he was always my go-to for getting fly.
Really?
And then Jim though, but Jim still get busy. You know what I'm saying? Like Jim be putting that shit together still to this day. You know what I mean? And
you know what? Jim Jones fashion. I give Jim Jones fashion for that. I mean, I give Jim Jones and Dipset big credit for that rock star period of time. That I feel like that was their whole wave, like during that Shop Boys time, and they had everybody fucking wearing the fucking chains on the wallet, on the Louis wallet, and like shit like that. I definitely give them they props for that. I just don't be seeing it for Jim. I don't think Jim, when I say I don't see it for nobody, I'm not saying that Jim is trash, but I don't feel like, I'm trying to think of like what Jim has wore where I'm just like, oh yeah, that shit go. Like that shit fly. Like I've never looked at Jim and been like, what the fuck he got on? Don't get it twisted. Jim can dress. But I be trying to think of like, what make them niggas a superlative? Like what make them niggas stand out in my mind? So that's very interesting. Where you give Cameron?
Cam can't dress.
Yeah, Cam can't dress.
Cam
I thought you was about the bullshit. I thought I was about to catch you in some bullshit.
Nah, Cam.
But you gotta give Cam his props for that pink era. Cause I definitely wore some pink shit to homecoming that year.
I mean, I don't really give him props. I mean, I had pink, but it wasn't cause of Cam. Like, I just like,
it wasn't because of Cam, but I feel like Cam made it cool for like homophobic niggas to wear pink.
That's true.
Like, nigga picked it all out with the hat and the fucking coat and everything. The phone, like everything. Then I feel like a rack of niggas was wearing pink after that. Like, it was no longer salmon. You could admit that the shit was pink. You know what I'm saying? So my list is, Hove. And my reason for Hove is what he provided to the culture. Not necessarily current day, what the fuck he got on his head, Hove. Skinny leg Hove. But Hove taught niggas how to dress. Hove dictated what your chain should be like. Your chain should be platinum. You know what I'm saying? Get all that other bullshit out of here. Like, Hove had niggas wearing the throwbacks. Hove had his Reebok shoe as an artist when it was only few artists that had their shoe. Hove had a shoe. Hove put niggas on like the button ups. He said we off the throwbacks. Now we on this, and niggas change based on what Hove would say. So I feel like Hove is the nigga that got y'all wearing all these different watches outside of Jacob and Company. Y'all know what an Audemars is because of fucking Hove.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know about all these names, and I feel like whereas the names like your Louis and your Gucci and your Fendi has always been around, Hove the nigga who brought y'all these other labels that y'all wasn't even thinking about outside of them. Hove was the nigga that had niggas knowing more about labels than bitches.
Yeah.
Hove was that fucking nigga. Wale. I give it to Wale because I feel like y'all niggas weren't really on sneakers like that and keeping y'all sneaker game up like Wale. Wale brought that shit.
Get busy.
Wale, now overall, like, Wale has been getting on his fab shit a little bit where he trying too hard. But the sneakers always go hard. Like, The outfits getting a little zany, but the sneakers still go hard. And then I give it to Fab like 2018, 2019. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fab, up until current, Fab was a consistent fucking nigga.
Yeah. He's starting to get a little bit better now though. Like over the past like couple months, he's been getting a little bit better.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear because I used to give Fab so many props. Like, Fab was like that nigga, like, who didn't have to rely on labels. to make some shit go off. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fab could fucking dress. And Fab could dress in a way where it wouldn't be hard to emulate Fab if that was your goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fab was very consistent, and then he started trying too hard. Then I give it to Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, Nicki get busy.
Nicki is
when she like, when she toned down, like when she like regular Nicki, like that, like over the top Nicki, I'm cool. But like just chilling Nicki, she get busy.
I like Nicki, and I feel like Nicki opened the door for like a lot of collaborations with like major labels and shit like that. Like she had her Fendi deal, like for female rappers, of course, like rappers and shit. So I feel like, you know, Nicki has always did her thing. Nicki posted that she coming back, and Nicki looks a little different. I'm wondering if she got a nose fixed. She got a nose, like her face looks different. Something about her face looked different, and I can't really pinpoint
Damn, I
it.
let Fat Joe off. I'll probably take
No, you should have left Fat Joe off.
Fat
Joe buy sneakers. Fat Joe get busy, my nigga. Fat Joe be wearing that silk shit with them titties. I can't fuck with Fat Joe, bro. When did Fat Joe get busy? Like, what's the outfit where you like, yeah, Fat Joe?
Man, I don't know. I'm not. It's not one. I've been fucking with niggas for over, the course of years. I feel like
if you fuck with nigga that heavy, you should be like, yo, it was this one time.
It's mad time. Like, the nigga get fresh. Like, I just like the way the nigga dress.
And last but not least, my last but not least is he not a rapper, but I feel like he hip hop, and I get that shit to Diddy.
Diddy be fresh.
Diddy rarely misses.
Diddy get busy. He definitely is a rapper. He had a rap album.
Well, yeah, all right. But Diddy rarely misses.
Yeah, Diddy get fly.
For me.
Diddy definitely get busy. Diddy definitely gets busy for sure.
Diddy,
that's a good one.
Diddy was that nigga.
Diddy definitely. That nigga gets super busy.
So last but not least, I'm interested. I'm very, very interested. Top 5 diss songs. Hip hop diss songs. You want to go? You want me to go?
That's up to you. Don't matter.
I go. Ether. So not in any particular order, but if I had to put it in order, my number 1 is fucking Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. When you start off a song, so I fucked your bitch.
Yeah.
That shit was hard.
I still don't like him. I don't like him for that. I hated him because I was a super big fan, so I hated that shit. So I ain't put it on my list, but I totally respect it. Certainly it should be there.
Yeah, I feel like that shit was hard. I mean, during the beef and shit, I was definitely, more on, I'm fucking East Coast. Like, I'm definitely gonna be more team Big and shit like that. And I felt like, Tupac was kind of like a loose cannon a little bit, more so than Big. But Hit 'Em Up was hard. Like, I'm able to hear some shit, and even if I don't fuck with you or whatever, I'm able to get props.
Nah, like I said, it didn't make my list just cause.
Yeah.
Whatever. But nah, that shit was hard as fuck.
Hit 'Em Up was a shit. Ether. That is, I admit that, and I've always been Team Hove. You know what I mean? I've always been Team Hove. But I felt like Nas won that round. Like, Ether was hard as fuck. Then Takeover by Hove. That was my shit. The Story of Adi Don by Pusha T. And that's because I feel like Pusha T has been the only person that's been able to stand Drake down. Like, Drake didn't have any retort for that. But I give number 5 to back to back. But the Story of Adi Don was the response to Duppy Freestyle, and Duppy Freestyle wasn't all that to me.
The Story of Adi Don, what was that over?
That was so Drake dropped the Duppy Freestyle that was about fucking Pusha T and Kanye. And then Pusha T responded and outed his son, that Drake had a son.
No, okay. So no, the Duppy Freestyle was in response to the shit that was on Pusha's album.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was.
Well, I just knew it. I know that whole beef was going on between the group. Yeah,
like how it came out. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but back to back went hard for me. When he went at Meek, because I like when a nigga shut a nigga down. I feel like he shut Meek down with that.
That nigga.
And it was a good song. I jammed in the club to back to back.
That nigga has never been a diss song that's played in the club. That shit is the greatest diss song of all time.
Nah, they definitely play Hit 'Em Up in the club. They definitely play Hit 'Em Up in the club. They play Hit 'Em Up in the clubs I go to. When they get into their Tupac bag or that West Coast bag, they definitely play Hit 'Em Up. I definitely hear Hit 'Em Up in the club. I'm not saying that it's gonna be charting in 2021 when they play it in the club, but that's definitely out of diss songs. I feel like Back to Back and Hit 'Em Up are the two songs that I definitely hear in the club. That's why they come to mind.
That shit was on the radio. Back to Back was a single.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to Back was a single. Hit 'Em Up had a whole video.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's your top 5?
I got Ether, Adidon, Back to Back.
Oh, you okay?
I got Sorry Miss Jackson by,
who is that a diss
Styles
to? I
P
didn't even know that
and,
was a diss.
Styles P and Jada, the 50. Hardest, the hardest of all the, like, lyrically, the hardest shit of all time.
I need to revisit that.
That shit was fucking ridiculous. Over the Sorry Miss Jackson shit. Hell yeah. Shit was ridiculous.
It's the Sorry Miss Jackson freestyle.
Yeah, shit was ridiculous. Like, they smoked that nigga. Like, that shit was wild disrespectful to the point, like, yeah. And then Gucci Mane, The Truth. Shit to Jeezy. That shit was scary as fuck.
Is that the partner up song?
Yep.
Yeah, that is shit. That shit do kind of.
The video was fucking wild. That shit is definitely, that shit. And then that nigga performed that shit in front of that nigga. That shit is nuts still to this fucking day. That was niggas like, yeah, that was the wildest battle of all them Verzuz battles. That was the wildest shit ever. Would,
you know what I be talking about, risking the bag and shit? I feel like that shit was so disrespectful. You would have had to steal that nigga. Like,
yeah, I would have.
Like, you performed that shit to my face, my nigga.
Yeah, I was listening to the Big Fats podcast, and they had Kinky B. And if you know anything about Jeezy, Kinky B was like his right hand man. And how they came up together and shit. And like they, you know, like that was one of their partners and shit. Like the nigga that they talking about, Pookie Loc. He was like, that shit, he was like, bro, that was the most disrespectful. He was like, niggas died. Like, it's no amount of money, none of that shit. Like, he was like, that was our nigga that died. And he was like, literally, like, throwing that shit in your face and shit. And I don't give a fuck what type of common ground and all that shit. Fuck that. Like, niggas died. So that shit was wild. It was actually really good.
No, that's true.
That was a good interview.
Like, that's that shit. Like, I felt like that was like I said, risking the bag. Like, I feel like I would have stole that nigga. Like,
yeah, nah, I would have jumped
during
way
that
over
versus,
that
like, that was just like mad disrespectful.
That
like,
shit was the most disrespectful.
Somebody rapping about somebody you love that's fucking dead, like they killed the nigga, like.
Yeah, that shit was wild as fuck, man.
I mean, I get it from the Gucci side.
Yeah, nah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Nigga, fuck you gonna do?
I get it.
Killed the homeboy, like, he can't say shit. Dig your partner up, he can't say shit. That was a good battle though. That was a good versus, cause then like Gucci had to do that shit cause his music couldn't compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Nah, that's true.
That was a wild versus. That was a great versus.
That was a wild versus. I feel like that might be the wildest versus.
Yeah, by far.
When we rank these verses, that's gonna go down as like the wildest.
Yeah, that by far. Like that was it. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I got.
So I want to give a shout out to, I feel like the most overrated this song, and I felt like that when it came out and everybody was on its nuts. She Third by Remy Ma. And
Super Ugly. Super Ugly was trash too.
Nope, I like Super Ugly.
And Hov lied and said that he paid Searchlight Publishing and he didn't. He's a fucking liar. So that's why Takeover didn't make my list, because the nigga lied. And he rapped like he had 3 fucking songs to Nas's 1. So that's how you know he lost.
All I really know is yo ho wants to be with me. She ain't playing. Hey.
Super Ugly was trash.
I love Super Ugly. Super Ugly was a good one for me, but I'm Team Hov, so whatever. But like I said, when Nas came through, just when Ether come on, that shit go hard. Mm-hmm. It just sound like Ether. But so many people done tried to rap over that shit. If you gonna rap over that Ether beat, you gotta really fucking rap, though. Right. Don't come with no bullshit rapping over that fucking Ether beat. And I tell niggas all the time, I was Team Hov. Even back in that day, I was like, nah, Nas kinda, I mean, like, Nas handled that shit. Like, you can't even front. Well, I want to thank y'all for listening to us, every 2 weeks as you do. I appreciate it. Listenership is going up, so I appreciate the new, listeners as well. Make sure you subscribe to the show, man, and check us out at theaintshitshow.com. That's an X where the I would be. I don't know if I ended Ain't Shit in 2 cents, but if y'all want to write into us, that's the ain't shit show at gmail.com, and that's the X where the I would be. And y'all know where we at. We on all the social. Hit us up. We on all your digital streaming platforms, and leave a comment, rate us, whatever. Help us make our dreams come true. And y'all know we like to end this with a quote, and today's quote is, sometimes we outgrow people who aren't growing. And until next week, or until 2 weeks from now, I want y'all to manifest y'all destiny, man. Continue to wash your hands and all that good shit, and the marathon continues.
Peace.